Wednesday, but Harold Landry not on the field after participating on Wednesday. As for Seattle starting safety Niki Manwari has a sprained ankle. He didn't practice yesterday, but he and his head coach both told the media he expects to play on Sunday night. The NFL then held its honors program last night. Mike Vrabel voted Coach of the Year.
It's an honor to be recognized amongst the great coaches of our league, especially Kyle and Liam, Ben, and of course Mike. Ultimately, my name will go on this award, but this award belongs to a building. It belongs to a staff, and ultimately it belongs to the men in the locker room.
Josh McDaniels was also voted Assistant Coach of the Year. Patriots kicking legend Adam Vinatieri voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame last night, along with Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, and Roger Craig. Finally, Matthew Stafford was voted the league's MVP over Drake May in the closest voting in over 2 decades. Celtics beat the trade deadline yesterday. They made 3 small deals to get themselves under the luxury tax line. Chris Boucher, cash and future second-round picks were traded to Utah in exchange for two-way player John Tanjay. Also, Josh Minich shipped to Brooklyn for cash, and Xavier Tillman in cash went to Charlotte for a future protected second-round pick. Amari Williams was signed to a 2-year contract. Celtics play Miami at TD Garden tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the Red Sox assigned free agent infielder Brendan Rodgers. The opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympics begin at 2 p.m. Eastern Time in Milan, Italy. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Every pass, tackle, and of Super Bowl 60 will be heard here.
He tries to get outside. He does! He's got the first down!
The Patriots.
Great made with the need for the final
The
time. Throws a deep
Seahawks.
ball down the right side. Top interception for New England!
Super Bowl 60.
They're headed to Santa Clara.
The home of the AFC champion New England Patriots. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Earthquake!
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. If you'd like to watch us on YouTube, you can do so by subscribing to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. You can download our podcast anywhere podcasts are available. Big show today with the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday with Bert Breer going to be in for an hour. We're going to talk to Cedric because we love him, but we're going to talk to Cedric a little early this morning, hopefully, if he calls in 7:20, and so much more. A little Jim Gray stuff just to let you know he's still around. I had heard Jim Gray on Mad Dog earlier this week. Yeah, he's not good.
He's doing Radio Row. He's making the rounds.
He's been there every day because he was on Mad Dog on Tuesday.
Yeah. And then he did an interview yesterday that we will get to.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, so you're lucky I'm here today.
Why? Well, I mean, other than the obvious.
We're always lucky to have you here, Fred.
I don't like your sarcasm early in the. You stay pure. Let Hardy and I be snarky.
Sorry.
I don't need your snark. Snarky. Not necessary. All right.
Giving lip.
All right. So I went out to eat with someone last night.
Your wife and a friend.
My wife and a friend.
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
And before we got to the hotel, and I had to get by the way, I had to switch rooms like 3 times. I'm like, the chair's got to be in the corner. If there's not a chair in the corner, and not a desk chair, a plush chair with cushioning.
Right.
No, but I was out with someone for dinner, and it was like a casual restaurant, and I got and I love the steak tips at this restaurant. They're the best. They might even be Dom's steak tips. But so I'm eating, and I get something lodged in my throat, a piece of steak lodged in my throat, and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, I got to get this down. So I'm drinking Diet Coke. I take Diet Coke and I put it in my mouth. And then I realize, oh, I'm choking.
Oh.
And, but I don't want to, I'm a little embarrassed, but I have a mouthful of Coke. So I'm like, and when I go, like Diet Coke comes out of my mouth and onto my shirt and pants.
Nice.
So I apparently am smiling because I don't want to seem like anything's wrong.
Sure.
But now I haven't taken a breath in about 15 seconds.
Okay.
So I get up from the table and I walk outside and I go, I did not throw up. And I gave myself a little bit of the Heimlich maneuver.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Really? Yes, you take your fist and you pump into your stomach. And it doesn't work as well. You should use a chair. I told you I gave my Heimlich maneuver to my son. He turned blue when he was little, and I gave him the Heimlich maneuver. He was eating edamame and choked on edamame, and I had to give him the Heimlich. Didn't panic. And I went, ugh, and about an ounce of steak came out. I don't know what I was doing, but it was seriously like an ounce of steak. And then we were leaving the restaurant. The steak was still sitting there. It was nice for everyone to see.
Out on the sidewalk?
Yeah, like in front of the restaurant.
I'm surprised some critter didn't come up and grab that.
Yeah, I mean, it's there for them if they want it. But
it's the I think you should leave sketch come to life.
Yes,
sloppy steaks.
No,
the one with the hot dog, and he got choked.
No, even a different one. He's literally choking in the restaurant, but doesn't want us to tell that he's choking because he doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of the cool guy.
Yeah, that's not a funny skit. Yeah, that's right.
So, how did the evening end? Was there embarrassment all around, or was it forgotten by the time you left?
Oh no, it was not forgotten. No, it still hung in the air.
Okay, did it spoil the rest of the evening?
No, okay. But because I handled it. I didn't if I would have stood up and went and then spat it up in the restaurant, yeah. But my whole thing was I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
More than I already have. I want to make this as little as embarrassment as possible. I didn't get sort of all over my shirt, just trickles of it. I mean, not great, but still. I coughed that up, and it was like a substantial. It was almost like an entire steak tip.
See, that would send me over the edge because I'm very self-aware of stuff on my face when I eat, and I don't think I'm a messy eater, but I'm known for going through napkins. If I have disposable napkins, I'll go through 6, 8, 10 of them.
When I eat wings, it's the same thing.
Well, eating like a burrito or something like that, and I'm constantly wiping my hands and trying to get the stuff off my face. And then last night, I too ate out. Nice establishment where they have golf simulators. So what you do is you order your dinner, and then you sit down and have 4 bites until it's your turn to go play again. And the idiot that I was with ordered wings. I wasn't that hungry. He's like, do you want to split some wings? I'm like, yeah, okay. And when they you don't think you're hungry, and then the food shows up, oh, I am hungry. And these wings are the messiest wings I've ever seen in my life.
You can't play golf and eat wings. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Well, they serve them there. It's not like it's not like an elaborate menu.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to play golf, you can't eat wings.
I agree, but me specifically, I can't because I'm so
fastidious.
Oh, that's exactly the word I was going to use, and I can't handle having like anything on my hand, and then a little bit got on my golf glove. And that sent me over the edge. And then a dickhead that I was with says they weren't cooked enough, so he doesn't want to eat them. And then the old poor broke radio guy me can't stand to see food uneaten. So I'm like, well, this is wasteful. You know, this could make for a good lunch at some point. I know I'm not going to take them with me. Can you box up these 4 wings? So I insist on eating more than I really want. And that ruined my night. That and shanking 2 wedges, which you don't think you'd be able to do in a simulator once, much less twice.
And you're anti-indoor simulator to begin with.
I am.
This is a big problem. This evening was fraught with peril for you.
Well, it's not a great night. But Fred, I'm glad you're still with us.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah, well, some of us can keep our cool. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Freddie. Hey, good morning. I got a fantastic choking on a steak tip story.
Who does
was up at a wedding in Vermont. Wedding ends. Everybody, comes outside of the barn, wherever we were in. Pop-up steak tip cooking stations, about 5 of them. Just people cooking steak tips with some fires. Everyone was kind of sitting around. 3 sheets to the wind. Great idea. Let's pop some steak tips. Get one lodged in the throat. Now, this is what I want to touch on with you because I just got embarrassed, and I start walking into the darkness to take care of it on my own. Now, I could have died in a mulch bed.
Yeah.
What's up with that? You got to just you got to find a way to dislodge it, obviously, but the embarrassment factor that comes along with choking on a steak tip is kind of no joke.
No, yeah, it was more important that I removed myself from the restaurant than it was dying. I would have rather died outside than had dislodged that in the restaurant. I'm sort of not kidding. Like at that very moment, I was like, "There's no way I'm freaking out about this. Like I'm going outside." Like
I remember when it occurred. For me personally, that thing was lodged in there, but it was like, I'm not asking for help here. I'm going to just walk off into the darkness and just croak on it would be one hell of a way to go out, though. I mean, my friends would have had a time at the wake.
We had the same experience. And the one thing I did think of is thank God I'm not drunk. Because if I was drunk, then I would have thrown up. I would have thrown up because my stomach would have been just like, ah. So I was very fortunate to be that. Carrie, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. Hey, Freddie, we got the most important question of the story here. We got to know, where did you make a trip to the Bone Zone? How did this night end?
What do you think? I choked on steak.
I was dancing around it. I don't know if you caught it. I was trying to ask delicately.
No, if you choke on steak, you're pretty much guaranteed to get laid. Let's be honest. Raises
you cheated death. That can be a great aphrodisiac.
I would think there'd be a lot of admiration in there.
That raises the level of that shows. That's if you survive a very perilous experience together, where they say the way they say that the way bonds are made, and they do say this even with your kids, is that if you do something sort of daredevil-y or scary, it could be going up in a hot air balloon or skiing or something like that bonds you. And I think when you're that cool under pressure, of course, I could have probably banged anyone in the restaurant that I wanted to, really, man or woman. After that,
hey, Leather, you're with me.
Yeah, I could have Berman the whole situation. I missed that T-shirt. I used to have a T-shirt that said, "Hey, Leather, you're coming with me." Jay, go ahead. Jay.
Hello?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hi, I just wanted to talk about the Drake May NFL MVP voting.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely stupid how Stafford wins when he's not even the MVP of his own team. He had 10 one-yard touchdowns thrown to Devontae Adams.
But do you have something about Efton Chisholm?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. I said Efton's not happy, and I thought maybe Efton Chisholm put something out, and then I was going to make fun of it, but I don't really care what that guy thinks right now. Steven, go ahead.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey.
Hey, Fred, I'm really happy you're okay.
Thank you.
That happened to me while I was out with my friends. He was choking, but we had a famous person at the table, and he refused to admit that he was choking.
Yes.
And I was really nervous, but luckily, all of a sudden, the police showed up.
Right.
And he was like, "What's going on outside?" He's like, but he refused to admit that he was choking. But thank God the police showed up. He went outside to check on what was going, but he got it up.
Yeah, that's right. Adam has mentioned I think you should leave it. Hardy and I both guessed the wrong skit.
Right.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
I watched that. That's the best episode of I Think You Should Leave, because that's the hot dog one, too. Not the hot dog choking one, the one where he smashes into the
hot dog mobile.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it starts with the hot dog mobile, then it goes into it's like the Mark Cuban show one, which is okay. But it's quick.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes into Crashmore, and then I think it might go into I'm not a piece of I think it goes into sloppy steaks in that one, but I might be wrong.
I can't stop crying.
Yeah. They brought him back. He was so good. He's dead, that guy that played that.
Biff Whiff, R.I.P.
Biff Whiff was in an episode of Dave. He played someone he thought was Rick Rubin.
He popped up in something else I watched recently, too. He was getting some work, so good for him.
Biff Whiff died a star. Biff Whiff was memorialized. The guy that did the Too Small, that guy, he's got an
Rubin,
Instagram
what's his
account.
name? Yeah.
He's got an Instagram account where that's like all he does is like he goes like then now he's being inspirational.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's quite nice. Gary, go ahead.
Fred, on a scale of 1 being a minor choking episode or 10 being a Zolak episode where he's gagging and coughing up shit, what was it like?
Okay, you can't say that, but was it one? Well, Zolak threw up.
Was Zolak throw up in the mouth outside? Or was this minor? What type of episode are we talking about?
Okay, I really didn't throw up. I and then it dislodged from my throat. Like I didn't like throw up and like a bunch of stuff came out. Like it was just I coughed it up. But you have to understand, it was at least a half an ounce. Say like a 4-ounce fillet. Like when you get a small fillet, it was about a quarter of one of those. Like I
understand.
No.
Forces the Zolak. Something's wrong with him.
No, yeah. Well, Zolak was like hungover or something. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that wasn't him joking. No, that was being hungover. I mean,
I don't know about that, man. I've been hungover, and those are noises that very few people.
You haven't been Zolak levels of hungover.
Yeah, that's way different.
I threw up. I've never thrown up in studio. I threw up hungover maybe more than once, but I mean, I've been here 20 years. But I hung up the one time I threw up really bad was in the bathroom, and I'll never forget because Winger was here, and the guy was like playing like a solo, and I had to get up and like go into the bathroom, and as soon as I saw the toilet, I felt really bad. I threw up all over the stall because it was one of those. But this was you can play Zolak again if you want, because I think that's what the people want to hear. No, it wasn't anything like that. It was just like a.
Was it more the burp? Okay, so that's the actual vomit. This is just the Zo burp.
Okay, so originally at the table, when I had taken foolishly the Diet Coke to try to push it down, it was probably about a fifth of that. It was like a. There was none of that. Like there was no regurgitation. It was the stuff in my mouth.
Gotcha.
So it was like, but I didn't Like, I didn't have like half a glass of Diet Coke. I had like a sip of Diet Coke, but I did go, ugh.
Have you ever thrown up in a bar? And I don't mean it going into the bathroom in a bar, but like thrown up in the actual, like, eating and drinking area?
I don't remember, but I would by no means put my life on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to guess the chances are at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I caught one once.
Oh, I mean, I've done that.
I mean, it was in my mouth, and I went to the.
I've done that. I've done that a lot. Yeah, you're doing shots.
Yeah.
And like you do the wrong one.
It was the time that I remember the most, and because it was cool. You know, we were doing Jaeger, which is the coolest thing to be drinking. And,
Metallica loved it.
Yeah. And I had one too many. I said, "Oh!" And everybody saw what had happened. And they laughed and laughed as I went to the bathroom.
But then you keep going.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is it you puke and rally is what they used to call it.
And get it back down.
Absolutely. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll catch you up with everything that happened last night.
Unprofessional bull.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are Toucher and Hardy. And Hardy, what happened? Oh, look at the Governor Healy. She's in a Drake May jersey, and she's doing a thing, and I imagine she's talking to someone in Seattle.
Oh, maybe the governor of Washington. They're getting.
That's fun.
Governors make Super
That's
Bowl
fun.
wager.
Oh, he's not wearing a Seahawks jersey. Not a real fan.
No, I'll give him credit for that. Actually, I like that. I don't like the notion of.
Oh, you think she's wagering lobster or clam chowder?
I
think that's part of it?
I just saw some sort of oyster, or maybe she was asking him for oysters. I don't know. It's not particularly funny.
I talked to the people of Massachusetts, this is from Governor Healy, and agreed that in the unlikely event that the Seahawks win, we'll send Washington some of the very best seafood and coffee. We're grateful to Massachusetts' own Legal Seafoods and Dunkin' for donating these fine products.
That's just what Seattle needs, coffee.
John, that's the bit.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone from Boston to Seattle has a fun and safe time this weekend. Go Pats.
Yeah, John, that was the bit. It was the irony of giving them something they already have. But I will tell you this, and I've told this story many times, and I will tell it one last time right now. The time that we had, someone was playing the Carolina in the Super Bowl. I don't remember, but we called a radio station in Carolina to make a bet, and I don't remember who they were playing or if it wasn't Atlanta, so I don't know who was playing, but or maybe it was like the NFC Championship game or something. I don't know, but we said we'll give you blah 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 if we win, and they were like this corny show, and they're like, oh yeah, and they're like, but we have a request. If our team wins, you will desecrate the grave of Dale Earnhardt. And this was not long after he had passed, and I found that very humorous. I did. They didn't like it, and I wouldn't move off of it. I was like, I don't care how you desecrate it. Like, if you want to like just do like, what do you call it? When you skid around on it, if you want to like do a lawn job on it, whatever you want to do, spray paint it. Just as long as you desecrate it.
Do donuts around the...
That's what I was thinking of. Like, if you want to do donuts around the graveyard, I don't care.
As long as the memory is defiled in some way.
Yeah, and they're like, okay. And I'm like, no. You pick how you want to desecrate it. I might have even gone further and suggested further things, but
Ryan, I just sent you a link. See if you can pull up the Twitter video of Trooper Ken and his proposed wager. I've mentioned this on the air before. I don't trust my computer to pull it up live here, but just grab that Twitter video of Trooper Ken from either Missouri or Kansas. It was before a Chiefs Patriots big matchup, and something that this state official had wanted to do. And we actually got this guy in the air to talk to him about it.
Oh, that's cool.
It haunts me to this day.
Oh, really?
This guy, his mannerism, and what he was after.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a hell of a sell right there.
Thank you. But let's push that back just for a moment, because last night people have been saying Drake May MVP, chanting MVP. Drake May is the MVP. Last night the actual award was given out.
The 2025 AP Most Valuable Player presented by Invisalign is
the great
Johnny
Matthew
Invisalign.
Stafford.
Whoa!
Both John and I Invisalign guys.
Wrong. Quite wrong.
Yeah, I'm outraged. Yes, Matthew Stafford got one more first place vote, and this is just further fuel to go with the other perceived slights that the team has been getting that aren't slights. Yes.
Did you see the one guy who didn't vote for either of those two and theoretically cost Drake May the MVP, voted for Justin Herbert. And then on Twitter, all the Patriots fans went after him for costing Drake May the MVP.
It's like voting for Ralph Nader.
It's amazing.
Right, it's just a wasted vote.
That's
like
right.
Throwing it away. It's like a Ross Perot vote.
Yeah. You bum. You cost May. We'll never forget this.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't. And if I'm that guy, I feel about 1 inch tall. Did you see, by the way, what is now on the sweatshirt, the Patriots sweatshirt that Vrabel is wearing at news conferences?
Yes, it says Warriors. Yes.
Oh, yeah, the little insignia thing.
I'm not joking when I say I don't like that omen. I really don't like that omen. Like we have on this show made fun of other teams, and rightly so. When the Texans came in, not this year, but years ago when they had Arian Foster, and they came in wearing Letterman jackets, and we went, "Oh, that's corny." I know it's
made fun of this team for the boogeyman thing. That didn't wind up too well for them at the end of the season.
It's just, I know it's frivolous, and ultimately, look, the Patriots are probably going to win the Super Bowl just the way everything's been going. I really do believe that. I've been asked by a million people as if like I know any more than they do, but I do think the Patriots probably win the Super Bowl. It's just that kind of year. Maybe I'll bet on the Seahawks to put or I'll bet on the Patriots so I can
put the whammy on them.
I can mush that whole thing up too.
The way your season is gone, I don't want you betting on the Patriots. That's a good point.
No, you really don't. If I have any power in the universe, it is certainly if I bet.
I've seen you every Monday for the entire season. No, don't bet on the Seahawks.
My NFL, I'm at like 5%.
I know.
With my NFL bets.
It is remarkable.
It couldn't be worse.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't bet on the playoffs, except for when I took San Francisco against Seattle. They were getting a touchdown after all.
A touchdown?
Yeah, a touchdown. I'm sorry, I choked last night. My throat is still is still.
Hey, it could be worse. You could be on with the preeminent betting expert on the radio station, Joe Murray, every night giving out your picks for the props, which I did again last night. We'll do one final time tonight.
Oh, good.
I mean, I was.
You must be down to the.
Well, let's see.
You must be searching.
You know, my big one was last night. The Kairos Tonga anytime touchdown prop. Which I don't hate. I mean, even Joe said it's worth $1 because it's plus 15,000.
I mean, all you're doing at that point is just trying to get a little more interest in the game. But I'm interested in the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I will not mush the Patriots. I will not bet for the Patriots.
Oh.
I promise you I won't. I will not mush them.
That's nice of you.
I really is. I swear to God to the audience, if you ever thought I didn't like you, I will not mush the Patriots. I do think they're going to win. I forgot my point in the first place, but yes, Drake May did not win the MVP. Oh, this whole Warriors thing.
Oh, and by the way, what are the odds that Holland shows up in a Warriors leather vest?
Can you at the Super Bowl?
Sure.
Okay, you can wear whatever you want to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, whether they're different during the regular season. He wore, I don't know. I have no idea.
There's probably a team rule, but I don't think there's a league rule.
I was watching NBC Sports Boston, I think with like Phil Perry, and I don't remember who was on, but they were talking about how the national media was all picking Seattle and that the Patriots could use that as fuel. It's really even. Like, if you go by the interviews I've heard from Mad Dog or Felger and Maz or Zoe and Bertrand, I've heard a lot of people, Florio, like a lot of people pick the Patriots. There's certainly, you cannot invent in this Super Bowl. Now the spread's 4.5, but you cannot bet outside of that spread that there is this general idea that the Patriots are going to lose this game.
I think this is mostly your algorithm bias. You're fed all the pro Patriot stuff because that's what you seek out.
Because I buy all the merch.
Yes. So that's just your algorithm feeding you what you want.
The perceived slight is those people who are picking the Seahawks are because the Seahawks have a better roster. They're a better team. The people who are picking the Patriots are more like you. Okay, it's that kind of year. It's not because the Patriots have a skill advantage anywhere.
Okay, no, but I've heard that it's Vrabel. I've heard that it's McDaniel. I've heard it's May. What the hell?
Coaching,
you know what? That's my point. That's my point. How is that an effing slight? Like, they think you're going to win the game because at the most important parts of the game, you have an advantage. What the hell is that? Oh, because it's not the raw. And, by the way, the way people have been filleting Williams and Barmore, I mean, come on. I've heard the defenses are even. Like, get out of here with that. I've heard the Seattle offensive line is worse than the Patriots offensive line.
I would love to find the guy who said that.
The interior of the Seattle line, that the worst player on the field. Phil Perry said it yesterday.
Right
the
guard.
worst player on the field. Is it the right guard?
Right guard is the one that Phil
right guard, and then that they're going to be able to exploit that, and there's going to be a bunch of pressure up the middle. I'm telling you this. As Super Bowls go, and I have to imagine the first Super Bowl that the Patriots won against the Rams, no one picked the Patriots.
No. Well, that spread was 14. That was huge.
So what I'm saying is, like the Giants against the Patriots in 2017, or 2007.
Yeah.
No one picked the Patriots or the Giants.
Right.
Like those are games like that. This is not that game. No. This is I'm not. That's a false narrative, and I don't like that. Like if Milton Williams wants to go, they're the number one defense. Like I guess whatever dumb metric they use for defense, they're the number one defense, and that helps. Fine, whatever helps you. But I don't want to hear like the media have a narrative that everyone's picking the Seahawks, because that's just not true. And I've heard. Believe it or not, I mean, a lot of people are talking about the Super Bowl, hours and hours and hours of outside this show, 7 hours of 8 hours this week of Super Bowl breakdown. And I've had enough of it probably by this point. Maybe today I lay off of it a little bit because we're off until Monday. And Monday we'll talk about the actual game. Maybe I take a hiatus until the Super Bowl about Super Bowl, more about it. But
who wins the line of scrimmage, do you think?
Now that's interesting.
Now that I haven't heard yet.
Because McDonald is a defensive genius, and the stunts they're going to confuse that young left side.
Do you think they'll be able to disrupt Sam Darnold? Do you think they'll be able to confuse him?
Well, it really comes down to disrupting Sam Darnold, because his EPA. Or EVA or whatever the hell it is.
People started talking about it last night, and I sat with my arms folded. I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe I have to listen to another one of these conversations. I can't do it.
But the slighted thing I don't see as accurate. Like, and I'm sure there's a show on ESPN where like a bunch of people pick Seattle, but as I've heard. What, man? 40 people interviewed about this thing, and I might have heard the Patriots picked more than Seattle, and you just heard me pick the Patriots. So what are you gonna do?
Well,
all right. Andrew wants to call me out. Andrew, go ahead.
Fred, you're talking out of your ass right now. One, you saying that you heard people calling the defense is a wash is made up. Nobody has said that.
I swear to God, that's
ESPN
not true.
Right
How
now.
would you, Andrew? That's not fair.
ESPN has 58 people picking the game. 48 of them picked the Seahawks. It's 48-10.
Okay, that's
the
ESPN.
National media is on the Seahawks. The national media is on the Seahawks.
No,
on the Seahawks.
You
and
have
nobody called the defense is a wash.
Okay. Then he hangs up.
You didn't hear that, Fred.
Oh, get out of here.
Well, you've been called out.
But by the way, what did you look at an aggregate of what the ESPN people picked? That's not what I did. I've been listening to ex-players, people, the Jay Glazers of the world, Florio,
48-58, dum-dum. That's
Sims.
That's
so
like 80% at least.
You only pay attention to what the ESPN people picked. That was your problem.
No, I don't know who the ESPN people picked. I'm telling you the interviews that I've heard.
And I'll tell you something else. You literally don't know who the ESPN people pick because you don't know the people. Once you get past about 15 names,
I know.
Like, who the hell is this?
You know what that argument was? That argument was Detroit's in the Central Time Zone. That's what that argument was.
Yeah,
was you don't know, even though it was your opinion to start with.
No, you know what that is? That's Patriot fan needs to like have the world against us. You're a fan of the team, dude. You don't need anything. You don't need anything. Watch the game. Root for your team. What motivation do you need, stupid, to sit there and drink? The motivation is that you watch the team. Congratulations if they win. I hope you're happy,
Fred.
But your motivation in going into this game is of no consequence to anyone.
Oh, how dare you! To think
that everyone's against us.
Yeah, and if you think this team hasn't been disrespected, wait until next when I play for you the announcement of coach of the year.
Yeah.
And if you think this team has not been disrespected, you will change your mind in just a moment.
All right. That's a tease. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
600 minutes to go! Super Bowl party tip! Give your guests a Super Bowl for the Super Bowl! And clean that commode! Get under that rim! Keep a plunger next to the throw! And put up a sign! If it's yellow, let it mellow! If it's brown, flush it down!
It is true. I will tell you this. We were talking about it off air. I don't think any guest we've had on has picked Seattle. That any of us can recall. So, I don't know.
That's disrespect. They're still being disrespected all over the place. John Hamm last night at the NFL Honors, he was disrespecting the Patriots and their fans. Adam 12, if you would, please.
I think we're all in for an incredible game. I'm super excited for Super Bowl 60. Do we have some Pats fans, some Seahawks fans in the house tonight? Let me hear ya.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Seahawks fans are called the 12s, while Patriots fans are called 5s at best.
It's true.
Boy.
Disrespect.
He's never going to hear the end of that.
I mean.
Well, you know what?
I mean, is he off?
Way off. He's way off.
You may not have not appreciated the humor in that, but they did have good bits.
Our DJ tonight, Bijan Robinson. Wait a minute. What are you, Commissioner? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Bijan's on the can, and I told him I would take over.
Okay. First of all, super personal. Do you know how to DJ, Commissioner?
It's my passion, John. And when I'm behind here, please, I like to go by Raj DMC.
I've heard worse. I mean, it's not the worst thing. I mean, was he dressed like funny?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
But the ultimate disrespect. I mean, come on. It's Coach of the Year. This is important.
Okay. The 2025 AP Coach of the Year is Mike Verable.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike Verable is busy preparing for the Super Bowl, but he sent this message, y'all.
You think that if you were going to do the presentation, that you would at least ask how to pronounce the names?
Yeah, they just hand you a tablet. Hand you a tablet. Go read this. That's it.
You're opening an envelope. I mean,
Or I don't know, maybe get with the accounting firm of Deloitte, Haskins, and Sells and say, you know what, we need to open this ahead of time and make sure she can read it. I don't care if this goes against your rules. Let's run through this one time.
Or spell it phonetically on the card. Yeah, that's unfair to the woman.
Tiffany Haddish.
No. Obviously, they're very disrespectful.
Exactly. But Vrabel is still very honored.
Congratulations first to all the amazing award winners
so if
tonight.
he knew, then they all knew, right? Mm-hmm. If they got him to tape it, or maybe they just said tape it in case.
Maybe they have everybody tape one.
Congratulations first to all the amazing award winners tonight. You're the reason that our game is so special. It's an honor to be recognized amongst the great coaches of our league, especially Kyle and Liam, Ben, and of course, Mike. Ultimately, my name will go on this award, but this award belongs to a building. It belongs to a staff. And ultimately, it belongs to the men in the locker room.
Hell yeah. And all those 5 fans.
Well, he deserves it.
And I don't mean total 5.
Fans that are 5s.
Fans that are 5s.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, he deserves Coach of the Year. There's no question about it. You go from 4 and 13.
The vote was pretty close, actually. Did you see? Liam Cohen was only like 3 votes behind him.
Well, that's silly. I mean, Liam Cohen had a more veteran quarterback. There was more expectations out of Jacksonville.
Yeah, apparently Vrabel had 19 first-place votes and Cohen had 16.
Yeah, Vrabel deserved that award. Vrabel should have won that. I don't think there's any question.
But I want to, I teased this before. I just wanted to share this with you. Trooper Ben, back in the day between the Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs, was trying to get something going, much like the governors of the Commonwealth and the state of Washington. They have their bet going. Trooper Ben had his back in the day.
Hey, it's Trooper Ben with the Kansas Highway Patrol, and I'm calling out Dustin G. Fitch of the Massachusetts State Police. Hang on a second before we get going, because I got to get something to start here. Carry on my wayward son. Are you ready for this? I challenge you, I wager like I do all the time, that the loser has to wear the other team's shirt, logo, jersey of some type. And in addition, the loser also has to cut a piece of their hair off and mail it to the winning troopers. So
That's wrong.
So I have a piece of you.
What? Trooper Ben? What was that last part?
Oh, boy.
if I lose, I'll wear a Patriots shirt, jersey, uniform, whatever it is. In addition, I'll cut a lock of my hair and I'll mail it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That guy carries a loaded weapon.
So I have a piece of you.
Oh, boy.
Could you remove some skin?
If you lose, you wear that amazing red Chiefs logo shirt jersey, and you cut a lock of that beautiful hair you got there and you mail it to me as a trophy.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And out patrolling the highways of the great state of Kansas.
I really wish you hadn't shared that.
And when you die,
Oh.
I get the corpse.
He was completely unapologetic. We got him on the phone one time. I'm like, do you have like body parts? Do you save your toenail clippings? Do you have waste containers all around your home? Is this, like a thing for
Howard
you?
Hughes.
Oh, no, not at all.
Did
not
you
at
share
all.
that with your boss before you sent it? Oh, my God.
One would think there are parameters in place to stop troopers from just putting anything out on social media.
Dave,
much less
maybe you
that.
don't send this. Maybe that's just something you keep in your back
I'm
pocket.
going to walk this one
No,
back.
you save all your waste for a week and mail it in a cooler.
Wow.
I want a piece of you as a trophy. Just saying that. Saying I want a piece of you as a trophy.
Yeah.
That sounds like someone
Man.
who kills for sport, like a human. I want a human trophy. I want a human trophy. Oh, I'm glad you had him on.
Yeah. But this, like I said, did not walk it back at all. It's like, no, this is my thing. This is my thing that I do.
Did the guy accept it from here?
Well, they ended up losing. I haven't listened to this entire thing yet. It's kind of long, but Trooper Ben ended up losing the bet. So let's see.
Hey, everyone. Robert Purdy with the Kentucky State Police coming to you. As you know, Trooper Ben and I had a little bit of a bet going on the other day between the Kansas and Kentucky game. And obviously,
This is something else. All right, never mind.
Oh, they do it for everything. That was a girls' softball game between Kansas Memorial High School and Lexington Catholic.
Here I am. Kentucky lost. I concede. And I've got to cut off a lock of my hair. And I'm actually here with my 6th grade Too Good for Drugs class.
And they're going to all cut their hair, too. So you'll have several trophies. And if you consume their hair, you'll stay young forever.
Trophies for the children.
I'm a little concerned about this. So,
as we all are.
Somebody is actually thinking straight.
Well, no, he's concerned about his hair more than he is about anything else.
we're going to cut off some hair. Go ahead. You want to cut off this lock right here?
All right, dude.
Okay.
Like, just go patrol the streets. No one
Go
needs
set
you
up a speed trap.
Yeah,
okay.
Go see if someone's kicking up dust on a softball field. Do anything but this. All right, we will be back in just a moment. Jimmy Gray, Wallach heard. Jimmy Gray is he's been around media, Super Bowl media, the whole week. I heard him interviewed on Tuesday, and apparently he was interviewed yesterday. He's just like loitering around.
Throw, Tommy.
And he's got the lamest thing that he's promoting. He's a real piece of garbage. And,
Peter.
And we will have that for you in just a moment.
Here's the headline. Good luck to you.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hunt.
Everyone probably knows about the Jim Gray interview that happened in Atlanta years ago. Last Patriots Super Bowl. We were in Atlanta. It was very late in the show on a Friday. People were walking around. There weren't a ton of people walking around that day. Jim Gray was walking around. I went, oh, Jim Gray. And he comes and sits down. He wasn't someone we had booked. And we talked to him, and here is just the last minute of that interview.
All right, so, Jim, we're fascinated with your relationship with Tom Brady. Okay, so you do the Westwood.
Have a lot of time on your hands.
What else do I have to do? Yeah, what else? I do a 4-hour show.
I was invited to dinner by Oprah, so I came to dinner.
But that was know her like that? Really?
Should that be surprising? That I'm sure you have friends. Yeah, I was invited to dinner, so
but I'm not friends with Oprah.
Right by there, yes.
And Tom Brady was filming something, and you happened to be there. That doesn't. Right. They're two very famous people, and then there's Jim Gray.
Well, I know Tom.
Right.
Oprah knows Tom. Stedman knows Tom. Oprah knows my wife. We're all friends. So why not have a dinner? So that's what that was. That's what you wanted?
No, you just won't answer any questions. It's boring. I mean, you're being defensive and looking at me weird.
All right, it's a stupid question.
But real quick, all right, then I don't want to ask you.
Question.
Okay, it's a stupid question.
What were you doing, having dinner with somebody?
No, we didn't know you were having dinner.
I just told you, and you didn't like the answer.
Well, oh, Jesus, Jim, just go. Do whatever you have to do. Bye. Here's the headline.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, and then he goes and calls the head of Westwood One and asks him to get us fired. We're not on Westwood One. But he happens to be the brother of our program director at the time.
Jim didn't know that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he just randomly called Westwood One to ask him to fire us. And so it's not like you can just go like Fred's a dick. No. He afterwards ran around. First of all, he's looking at me like he wants to beat me up, which I cannot stand. I cannot stand that. Like when someone's like looking at you, like glaring at you. F you, mother effer. Like, this is what we're doing? You should have seen the way that prick was looking at me. There's video of it. He's like eyeballing me like he's gonna beat me up, and that's not happening. It really pissed me off. You can't hear that, but he's really like glaring at me. And it got me really mad.
Do you know what really set him off after hearing that now for the probably 10th time at least?
Yeah.
I think he was put off at the notion that he wasn't as famous as Oprah and Tom Brady.
Which makes him completely a psychopath. That he has no... if that's not even the proper definition of psychopath, maybe, but he has no self-awareness.
He's had a reality break.
He's like so narcissistic that he thinks that he's on the same level as them.
Yeah.
Like anyone else would go, yeah, it's crazy. Like I'm doing work for Tom Brady. Next thing you know, I'm out with Oprah and Tom at dinner. Like LA's crazy. Like I've been able to develop these relationships. Hello. Wow, that was hard to do. A little self-effacing.
That's the thing. He's spent so much time. He's been a national reporter. He's interviewed a lot of people. He's spent a lot of time with a lot of famous people. But in his mind, that makes him famous as those people.
Okay, so like back in the golden age of magazines, if we would have had the editor of Vanity Fair on, and he was having that Vanity Fair Oscar party and stuff, I guarantee you he would have sat down in an interview and he would have been like self-effacing and been like, oh, like, because I read the guy's book and he's like, we would have these parties and we started off like, he was very like humble about the whole thing and how it all like, that's just what normal people do. Like, I think even if you asked Oprah, like, hey, Oprah, Tom Brady was at your house, she'd be like, oh, yeah. Like, she'd at least fake that.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, can you believe it? Handsome Tom Brady was at my house. Just be a normal person. So, yes, that was what he was upset about. He was upset about...
Thank you, with his own fanfare.
And it was people like that happened, but what I don't like is that he tried to get us fired, which also is insane, because why could you get us fired? Like, you're that much more important than me that you can go get me fired? You're Tom Brady's lunch guy. You work for Tom Brady. You're his assistant.
Here's the headline.
Good luck to you.
And then he stormed off and started calling everyone to get us fired. I mean, he's a real piece of garbage. He couldn't have just said, "Look at these local yokels. You suck," or punched me. I would have had more respect for him if he threw a punch. Huh. Yeah. All right. So anyway, Ben Volen for some reason sat down with him. But it's a long week, and you're out there.
Yeah.
And so here has been Ben Volen with Jim Gray.
Ben Volen
with Jim Gray, Ben Volen, who I've been in a steam room with.
Oh.
We didn't plan to meet up. We just happened to be in the same steam room.
Still got the best nickname on the beat, Mittens.
I like Ben's a nice guy. So Ben is out and he's talking to Jim Gray. I've not heard this, but here they go.
Welcome back to Boston Globe Sports Report. Plus, we're bringing you extra coverage live this week from Super Bowl 60 Radio Row. I'm Ben Volen. Joined now.
And we ran out of guests.
Joined now by the great Jim Gray, broadcaster, entrepreneur, friend of Tom Brady, as we all know him back in Boston. Jim, thanks for coming on.
Good to be with you, Ben.
You've got an interesting venture with Tom Brady now out in Las Vegas.
The title, Friend of Tom Brady, as he's known back in Boston. Friend of Tom Brady.
Right.
That's on your resume. That's right below the masthead. Friend of Tom Brady.
John, if you looked at his LinkedIn page and he was honest about his resume, that would be his job as Friend of Tom Brady.
But the point is, he's introduced that way, and he has no trouble with it.
Friend of Tom Brady, responsible for the LeBron James decision.
That's right. This is your legacy. That's what you are. Not a guy who interviewed Pete Rose at the All-Star game and asked him a decent question. Not all the stuff you did for about 20 years in there. This is you, friend of Tom Brady.
And that reminds me, Hardy, he wasn't necessarily mad about him being friends with Oprah and Tom. He was being evasive about why he was involved in Tom Brady's interview with Oprah. Like he didn't... Because what happened is Oprah, like in whatever tropical location, had this thing with Tom Brady, and then randomly Jim Gray was in the background.
Yeah, he had headphones on standing next to a
and
camera.
we had all noticed it. Like, I think you guys probably might have.
Yeah.
And like everyone kind of noticed that Jim Gray was there. That's what he was being evasive about. Like, he was being flippant about his role there. Like, he didn't want us to know that he worked for Tom Brady. That's what the issue was.
The Hall of Excellence, right? Why don't you tell us about that?
The Hall of Excellence, finally. Something to honor. The Hall of Excellence. Jim Gray's new venture.
Good theme song. I like that for the Hall of Excellence.
Jim Gray's when you walk in.
Yeah. He's got to be 68 years old. Maybe you retire instead of making the Hall of Excellence.
Right? Why don't you tell us about that?
Hall of Excellence is in the Fontainebleau Hotel on the second floor. It's got...
the second floor, where all great museums are. On the second floor. right by the Spencer's Gifts. Once you get past the first floor and take the escalator up, you will get to the Hall of Excellence.
325 of the greatest sports artifacts in our country's history. Everything from Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowl rings on permanent display, Bill Belichick's most worn hoodie, the Lombardi Trophy from Belichick and Brady when they beat the Rams 13-3.
So it's a Patriots museum.
Well, he ripped off Jim Gray. Jim Irsay is really what he did. Jim Irsay did this 2 years ago.
You go to a casino, right? And there's a lot of stuff that is given to you with the expectation you will give it back to them, right? You're going to give it back to them through gambling and stuff. The Hall of Excellence at the Fontainebleau, $35 for general entry. $20 for kids ages 5 to 15.
Oh my God!
But if you're a senior military or a Nevada resident, it's only $30 to go and look at 50 things. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure I was going to look up admission is free. You're in a casino.
Yeah.
You're going to give us all your money anyway. Why would we charge you to go look at some stuff?
No, these are the greatest artifacts in sports history.
By the way, on Pawn Stars, they're like selling Super Bowl rings.
Go down to the gold and silver pawn shop down the street, and you can look at all that stuff for free.
Or you could buy it, and it's strangely some of it's not as expensive as you would think.
Can you go buy a mummy? No, you have to look at it in a museum.
Right, if you give King Tut, or you have a million.
It's not for sale. That's why it's a thing that you would pay to see because you can't see it otherwise.
Or you have some $200 million Jackson Pollock painting this is your only opportunity to lay your eyes on it. I understand. Right. The Super Bowl rings.
Oh, God.
Like things that Mark Andrews, who's here once a week, has. I mean, to go meet Aaron Ward, he'll let you let him put on his ring all you want.
Again, we have so much stuff. LeBron James' first jersey when he played against the Sacramento Kings with the Cavaliers. Jason Tatum, we have his Olympic jersey from Paris.
Okay. $30?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So there's something for everybody in here. Again, there's 300. Jackie Robinson ring from his World Series back in 1955. His only World Series victory.
How long did it take you to procure all this?
Well, Tom broke record 997, and we did the radio show for a long, long time. He's still on Let's Go, our podcast.
Yeah, long time. It's been on forever. What a run that show has. It's like 60 minutes. It's been on for. It's like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's setting records.
It's like Meet the Press.
It's like Stern. I mean, it's been on since 1981. Ugh.
And radio show on Sirius XM.
Tom Brady.
So I said, Tom, what do you do with all
the radio show you pay for the time for on Sirius XM?
all this stuff?
Paid program.
Paid programming.
Where does it all go? All these records that you break, the balls. And he says, I've got them in a warehouse and some are in my house. I said, we should open a museum.
And charge people.
So everybody should come on by. A lot of Boston stuff. Just great memories. We're trying to inspire the next generation.
Yeah, by charging them only $20.
Inspiring people. I didn't know about that.
Well, if you're 5 to 15, it's $20. Otherwise, it's $35.
And all those 5 to 15-year-olds that are going to be at the Fountain Blue in Vegas.
Right.
When you take your 5-year-old to Vegas.
Educate the folks who don't know, and then everybody else can relive some of their fondest, greatest memories.
Obviously, you're very tight with Tom Brady and the Raiders. How would you describe Tom's involvement maybe with that team moving forward now?
Well, he's a minority owner, so that'll be his involvement.
Yeah.
And his involvement was, obviously he was in this interview process for a coach that they're going to try and find, I guess, after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so he's been involved with that, and he has an involvement with the Las Vegas Aces as a minority owner. And they've won a couple championships since Tom has come on board. So I guess Tom now has gone from 7 rings to 9.
Do other minority owners get heavily involved in the interview process for head coaches? And I mean, if you've got say a 1% stake in a team, do you get involved in that stuff? I mean, again, he can't help but be a prick, just a tiny bit of a prick when he first answers it. Well, he's a minority owner, so he's going to do the things that minority owners do. Like talk to the quarterback all the time and be heavily involved in the interview process for the next head coach and the general manager. No, I don't think that's what happens.
How about he was a famous national reporter and now he's just a guy that knows Tom Brady?
All right. I was just going to say that all of the questions Ben Volen is asking, none of them are about Jim Gray.
Right, because he has
none
nothing.
of them. What are you doing?
There's nothing. Tom has a bunch of stuff, so he made this stupid thing no one's going to go to, which is going to be another failed business of Tom Brady's. Then, by the way, maybe Tom Brady should stop taking advice from Jim Gray, because every business venture is a failure. And told you the whole time they're dumb ideas. It's just the thing is they're not innovative. They're just dumb ideas. Just retreads of other people's ideas, but worse. Like his dumb clothing brand that no one's going to buy.
Because his Aces ring's a little bit different role and not exactly a participant on the field.
Well, and funny stuff, Jim. He doesn't play for the women's basketball team. That's groundbreaking.
I don't know exactly what his involvement is in terms of, he's a football man, and he's the brightest football man. He's won 7 Super Bowls as a quarterback. So that's a huge, huge asset for the Raiders, and to be in that ownership group is great for them.
Absolutely. And then just curious your take on the reported news that Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft didn't get into the Hall of Fame. What do you think of that outcome?
I think that's just a shame. I mean, it's upsetting. It's disappointing. It's disgraceful in many ways. I don't want to hear about the process. If you didn't pick Bill Belichick with your first X, no matter who he's against. And it's very unfair and unfortunate that those other names are now in the mix. Bill Belichick had nothing to do with Ken Anderson and Roger Craig and L.C. Greenwood.
Yeah, he did. If they Roger Craig wouldn't have necessarily gotten in and people voted for Belichick. He absolutely had something to do with it.
And so you're saying you're picking some of those guys instead of. And Robert Kraft, if Robert wins on Sunday, he'll have 7 Super Bowls as an owner, okay? okay, from the guy who likes to
This guy's got a lot of information on the top of his head that's obvious.
tell the story of sitting out there on the benches. 7 Super Bowls. So if owners are going to be in the Hall of Fame, and there are some great contributors, Al Davis, all right, George Halas, all right, great contributors. What Jerry Jones has done, Eddie DeBartolo, Pat Bowlen, Robert Kraft belongs with those guys, particularly the modern era guys. You know, he has done an incredible job with 6 Super Bowls. Doesn't have to win this one. It's the cement, you know, this isn't like quicksand here. It's already cemented, his record, and it's a great record. So it's disappointing. It's sad. I think that the institution has taken a hit, but they'll recover.
Yeah.
They will recover, and they'll bounce back, and they'll try and be better from it, and they'll get it together. And if they have to revamp it and figure out how to do this, those people who voted no should not be voters, okay? They should not be voters.
Really?
That's right.
All
Yes,
right.
they shouldn't.
That's
They shouldn't have an
no one
opinion.
else has thought of that. Who's better, Mike Lombardi or Jim Gray? Because Jim Gray is Tom Brady's Mike Lombardi at this point. And I think Jim Gray, if you asked him, his ideal job now would be with the Raiders. In some way, shape, or form, in PR or something like that.
That's a good question because they are cut from the same cloth.
It's the same.
They're both idiots.
It's the same, but I mean...
And terrible spokespeople, too.
Yes. You think Tom Brady really wants Jim Gray running around giving interviews like this?
Apparently he does. I don't think Tom is overly intelligent in a lot of ways off the field. I don't think he's incredibly media savvy. I really don't. I really don't think. I mean, look at the fallout from his comments of just not picking the Super Bowl.
How dumb.
Yeah, like
Tom Brady.
it's just so
I'm not
dumb.
I'm not offended by it. If I were a Patriots fan, I wouldn't be necessarily offended by it. I'm just more amazed at the stupidity and the lack of awareness to not say something as simple as, "Who do you think I'm rooting for?" I mean, I'm part owner of another team now, but you know where I played most of my football, and you know where my loyalties for a good chunk of my life are, and my memories are. I mean, you don't even have to ask that,
Or
so he doesn't even have to answer.
If even what if he just made the joke and was like, "Hey, like I gave him 6. That's enough. Like let's get a little like that's like a funny joke. Like anything. Like I'm not lying to you. He's not, for someone that famous, he's not particularly like media savvy. Like he's not a good interview. And when you're a player, that's great. Like he was playing by the Belichick rules.
I think he's.
But now that he's like trying to sell stuff and make himself like a big name in media, which he already got the job, but that's because of the way he played quarterback. Yeah, I don't think he's the greatest.
He's almost
media
getting
guy.
himself to like Zuckerberg levels of like insulation, and he doesn't know how to talk the talk.
Yeah, his
anymore.
like Instagram is cringe inducing and corny. Like and it is, and it's made fun of by not me. I mean, it's made fun of by like Katie. No, I mean just everyone's. Charlotte Wilder, like all these people are like making fun of it. Like, and he's not doing it on purpose either. He's very removed. Yes. That's the thing. And he's so removed. He is Jim Gray out on walking around for 4 days during waiting for someone to ask to interview him so we can talk about some dumb thing at a Vegas casino.
Disgraceful in many ways.
It is disgraceful. It's a disgrace, and they should change the process. And the people that didn't vote for him should be removed, because that's how voting works.
That's just a shame.
When you vote for someone, as much as Belichick should have made the Hall of Fame, so they should get rid of the voter. So if the outcome of a voting process doesn't go the way you want, you remove the voters. Then what's the point of the vote? That's the dumbest. Quite a democracy they got running over there. All right, very good. We will be back in just a moment. Cedric Maxwell will be joining us.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
Caller number 10, appreciate it.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for having me on. I know you guys are out. Just the fact that we're talking about anything other than the Super Bowl brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, it's a relief.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a relief. There is 2 weeks before the game. It can be a bit of a bog. But do you follow the NFL? Do you have a thought on the game?
I don't really follow it, other than the fact I know that the Patriots have had an amazing run, and they've also had some amazing luck. The fact that the Denver quarterback went down played the full game, and all of a sudden he's out with an ankle injury right afterwards just kind of was weird to me. But give Gable and Vrabel and his troops full marks for playing hard and executing. Nobody expect them to be here.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Tom Brady was asked about who he was pulling for in the game, and he said he really said nobody. I just want it to be a good game. I have no dog in the fight. And some ex-players that played with him seemed to be legitimately offended by it. They're not joking. Vince Wilfork and was it Asante Samuel?
Asante Samuel very upset online, and Spillane
they weren't
not happy.
Yeah, but Spillane didn't play with him. But it's the guys that didn't play. The guys that played with him are kind of upset. Would you be upset if a guy you played with was not rooting? If the Celtics make the finals this year and they asked the guy that you played with,
or maybe more specifically, Cedric, has it ever bothered you that Larry Bird, who is the Tom Brady equivalent, hasn't really expressed much interest in anything having to do with the Celtics since he left,
or Boston for that matter?
Well, Larry is a different dude, and once he departed here and had the thing with Rick Pitino, Larry doesn't turn back. And, so he's been, I think he came here one time to the building when the Pacers were playing. But other than that, he stayed away, and he's been consistent. And that's who Larry is. So am I upset that Larry doesn't do more? I would love for him to be around and do more things with, some of the teammates. But Larry has chosen to do other things. I had one appearance with Larry, Kevin, and Chief opening up the Dick's Sporting Goods on Boylston. But other than that, Larry's been pretty much non-existent, so I could see.
Does that bother you? That
I would, yes, it does bother me. I would love for a guy like that for one of the greatest players of all time, one of my greatest teammates, to be more involved with his teammates. I would love that. We were talking. I was talking to somebody about doing somebody was telling me about doing something about 1981 or 1984. I said, we can do a documentary and do it without Larry. I said, how can you do that? You can't do a docu without the best player. That's just impossible. Everybody's going to, well, we can insert some stuff about him. No, that doesn't work for me. If Larry's not speaking, that's his choice. But I definitely would like for Larry to be more involved with some of his teammates.
Is it also kind of on brand, though, for Larry to be like that based on the way he was when he played here? Because that's the other correlation to Tom Brady, who spent 20 years here, but never really felt like he had embraced Boston. He always had his homes in other places, and he had this kind of international lifestyle that developed and morphed into over the years. Did you get the sense that Larry, in all his years here, was never really immersed in the city like a lot of people say Tom Brady wasn't?
No, just the opposite. Larry was very immersed in the city. He loved Boston. He talked about, being, in Boston, playing, the gritty, the fans, all that stuff. So there was no correlation there when it comes to how Brady is this international, guy going out and having dates and all this stuff. Larry just wanted to play basketball. And that was it. And you had to be fine with that. So no, I never felt that Larry was, I always felt Larry loved the city and loved being around Boston. But once he turned the corner, and almost anything Larry does, Larry is consistent with not coming back.
What maybe I'm just forgetting. You mentioned something happened with him and Pitino when Pitino took over. What specifically happened?
I think that Larry was upset when Rick Pitino insisted that he get the president's role and take Red's name off the mantle.
Okay.
And I think that just kind of irked Larry and irked a lot of people.
It worked out.
Well, Rick didn't. Well, yeah, it sure did. And I mean, Rick did not have to do that, and it was really weird because Red became the assistant, the advisor to the president. That was his title instead of just it didn't make a lot of sense to the people who are around here for the power grab like that. I think Rick Pitino is a great coach. He was a great college coach. But coming here in this situation, I think some of the stuff he overstepped his bounds.
Okay. As for the here and now, Max, the Celtics pull off 4 trades in the last couple of days. What can you tell us about Vucevic and what he will bring? And then you have those 3 other minor trades yesterday.
Well, John, if you're not going to mention them, I'm just going to mention the one with Vucevic. He's a big body. I hated that you lost Simons. Simons was just good and really good. I talked to Brad Stevens about him before the day before the trade went down, and he said that that Simons had done everything that was asked of him. To come into Boston, to come into a new system, to be more so on the bench, to play defense, and then start to get his footing. Brad loved him. But Brad also looked at the big picture of saying he wanted the big. What Vuk brings to the table, he could be more of a back to the basket offensive threat. Not that Kata isn't rebounding the basketball, but individually you could see the footwork with Vuk. And on top of that, he comes in as a big with another guy that can stretch the floor because he's pretty consistent. He doesn't shoot a lot of them, but he's pretty consistent with knocking down threes from the outside. So that's one thing that Kata has not done. And I laugh. Me and Kata joke about it all the time. I said, man, when you finally, hit a three, point up he said, I'm going to point right to you. I said, well, if you do, I'm going to do a damn cartwheel as soon as you knock down your first three.
That's pretty good. I would like to see it. Do you think the Celtics...
I would, too.
Yeah. Do you think the Celtics lineup is better with Pritchard off the bench or with a kind of a double big look? Would you start Shireman? It's just different kind of options for Joe to go with here.
Joe has done one thing that people can look at. He's put Pritchard back on the bench, and maybe Pritchard has really been a lot more explosive coming off the bench. Sometimes guys, he not say he wasn't a bad starter, but when he comes in off the bench, you get a chance to see the flow of the game a little bit more and what needs to be done. Instead of starting starters, when you get starters minutes like I did, you just kind of get your flow and get your bearings. But when you're a guy coming off the bench like Pritchard that's a scorer, you become a lot more explosive, and I think you'll get a lot more consistent about, pinpointing what needs to be done on the offensive end.
One more question. Now that you see what you see with the Celtics, is this team a contender to win the Eastern Conference?
Yes, they are. And it's really weird. I would never thought that. I don't think that none of us would ever thought that. But this is more about Joe Mazzulla. The first day that he was walking out on the floor, I met him in the tunnel coming back before the game. He said, Max, we're going to muck this thing up. And that's exactly what this team has done. They mucked it up. They play hard. They play harder than everybody around them. I was really disappointed looking at Houston the other day. You may normally have those guys playing hard. The Celtics just outworked them on every position, every time. I've never seen Durant look as bad or not interested. Ime got thrown out of the game. It was laughable to look at Houston the way they had beat the Celtics by 24 in Boston and then just get really ran off their floor with a second night of a back-to-back. Celtics were not the rested team, but they looked the rested team, and Houston looked the team that was disinterested.
All right. Well, look, I don't know why there's any reason to think that Boston couldn't challenge, and the Pistons certainly looked very poor last night. They losing to Washington, the much improved Washington team. Making.
I mean, I look. What I love about all this is looking at the trades, and now I think the biggest thing you're looking at is buyouts. I was just online today and saying that, people you could be interested in, and, maybe you want to get this guy to come in to buy out, and maybe Cam Thomas is one of the names they mentioned. He was from Brooklyn. Last time we saw him play in Brooklyn against the Celtics, he had the same disinterest in the game as Houston did the other day. So, he's a guy who can score the basketball, but do you need scoring? And on top of that, you want to bring in a person that's going to be quality and is going to be consistent with Joe's theme of busting their ass out there.
All right. Well, listen, there you go. Cedric Maxwell, enjoy tonight as you will be calling the game, and you're one of our...
Say his name. Say his name.
Who? Jesus. Jesus, Cedric. I'll say his name. I'll praise his name.
Capital H, his name.
As I sit here, Cedric, thank you for the opportunity to praise his name. And we will be reborn, Cedric. And those who do not believe will be smited.
Let the church say amen. Amen.
Won't he do it?
All right.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. All the time.
All right, Cedric. Thank you so much.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good one.
All right, we appreciate it. We will be back here at the headlines.
Sports Hub head. best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
Countdown to kickoff. 3,540 minutes to go. Snack run. Snack run. Snack run. Now it's time to hit the market for your favorite Super Bowl treats. Oatmeal. Greek yogurt. And all the fixes for a green bean casserole. My doctor didn't say my Lanta. He said, that's a super menu, champ. Thanks, Doc.
Yes, we've been getting these countdown to kickoffs from Nicholas and Hardy, and I believe Adam and Ryan have their hands in them. John and I get to leave meetings early.
Yes.
So it's
that's
quite
the bonus of all of this.
It took me like 2 days to figure out what was going on, but that's what's going on. I never want to ask questions. I feel if there's time that I need to be discussed. I'm very narcissistic. If there's people, if there's time I need to be discussed, there's a problem or something, you discuss it. But this is what they've been doing. But
we have a separate text chain for that.
Good. I'm glad. Just as long as I never have to see it, I don't know if I could handle it. The deal is that Nick has been doing these, and we have, I believe, 2 more before the show is over or so.
Yeah.
But Hardy and Nick's done a great job. They have made me laugh. They really have.
That's the point. And Nick voices a lot of stuff for me, and these in particular though have been torturous to get through because, as you just heard, that was maybe 10 to 15 seconds worth of audio that he had to speak in that at the most.
And if I can just step in real quick, these are obviously a take on like the Today Show. Like the Boston Globe had an article yesterday about how to make your stacks for the Super Bowl more green.
Right.
Like so you don't have waste, because Adam was printed it out and was handing it to everyone.
That's right.
Like there's all this ridiculous crap about like how you as a person who's consuming the Super Bowl is going to do it.
Yes. But, the different places in San Francisco and, all these different things. But when we write them, I voice to text them word for word how they're supposed to go. I text it to Nick. So all he has to do, and he's in there when we're actually coming up with them. So all he has to do is regurgitate what's already been said and is laid out in front of him on a text and record it and send it back to me. And he does that later in the day. He's got his special spot at home where he goes to do his voice work, which is fine. It's like I don't feel.
Well, he has a child.
That is, and which none of us can relate to. So
some of us have 2. All of us.
Amazing. Yeah.
And some of us have had to go to Groton once a day for an entire year. Go ahead.
So, for each day, 10 to 15 seconds each, you rattle them off rapid fire. All right, it's not going to take a minute because you're not going to do them perfectly, but let's say 1.5 minutes worth of audio should be sent back to me with a hiccup here or there. Last night was 7.5 minutes.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't want to like rapid fire these things together because it doesn't really give you a sense. I just have 2 of them. One of them is the clang, clang, clang went the trolley.
Right, that was a good one.
From yesterday. Yeah. And also about the Apple headquarters. So these are essentially just him trying to make it through the 10 to 15 seconds worth of stuff that he knows what is going to be said, is written out for him. So this is an example of what I get sent back.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Trolley. Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. You can have your driverless cars. I'll take a all over the city that never sleeps. Ding, 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 ding.
That he could do. that Nick hit out of the park.
But again, I'm cutting out sections of it just for the sake of brevity.
No, I understand. We don't want to hear like 7 minutes of him doing this.
Right. Imagine it's like you're home. You got stuff to do, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna produce these out, and I'll be back up for dinner. Give me 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes just to get through the audio.
Right. Well, listen, he's an artist.
You can take your driverless car. You could take your driver lesson.
He's having a ball. That I'll give him.
And I'm getting more and more infuriated.
Driverless.
I'm not laughing with him. I'm getting
Right.
so irritated to the point of
I
rage.
can see that.
Because I just want to get this done.
Because Hardy's like in a home studio,
Sure.
and it's like doing work in a studio. It's different than like what John and I have to do. He's like actually like editing audio, and it's a pain in the ass.
San Francisco, here I come. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, he split those up.
Enjoy that.
Instead of going 7 dings in a row, he gave me 3 and 4.
His voice, his projection. He knew his own stamina. All right, and here is the Apple one, because he was a step away from being a tech bro. He was Google and Apple were after him.
Again, this is not the full copy. This is like half of the copy, and it's 50 seconds.
I'm glad that we're not hearing the whole copy. All right, here we go.
With the Apple headquarters so close to the side of the Super Bowl 60, I have a few questions. With the Apple headquarters so close to the side of Super Bowl 60, I have a few questions. Can I see the crowd? I forgot about these. Can I see the cloud where you store all your stuff?
I just want to turn everything off and say, you know what, we're not doing it. I don't want to sit through it anymore.
So during commercial breaks, Ryan will take me into the other studio and he'll go, "Can you read these ads?" And during one of our commercial breaks that are like 4 minutes long, I'll knock out 4-minute long reads.
Right.
Cold.
And it takes 4 minutes to read 4 minutes worth of copy.
Right. And there will be stumbles here and there. And if there's like a bunch, like sometimes they're almost tongue twisters, but we power through. Like it's, but I would say, Ryan, it's safe to say 6 out of 10, it's one read. And these are 60 seconds worth of copy, cold.
Right. That you've never seen before.
That I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I see the cloud where you also...
Well, I don't like that. Thank you for beeping that. Nicholas, watch your mouth. There's a child in there.
Can I see the cloud where you store all the stuff? Can I see the cloud where you store all the stuff? Can I see the cloud that... How come Steve Jobs hasn't said anything in a while?
Right. Well, he ended up doing a good job.
He did.
So, I mean, Nick has shown a lot of enthusiasm, and he tried. And I do like that. All right, Bert Breer is scheduled to be with us for the next hour. He is out in San Francisco, so it will be 5 in the morning when he joins us. That means he got up very early. We do appreciate that. We'll have him in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher.
Yeah. How you doing? Feel good. Do things. That boy. Jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Here we go. Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy heading into the weekend. Highs of 2 coming up on Saturday.
It's just like you're getting your hair styled and you're sitting in the chair, you know? This is the music that plays.
They play a lot of New Jack Swing where I get my hair cut, so I think you would be very pleased. Bert Breer, by the way, if you want to watch us on YouTube, subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. You can download our podcast anywhere. That would be nice. Bert Breer is the senior NFL reporter and lead content strategist for the MMQB. Bert Breer is brought to you by Robinhood. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Bert in San Francisco, thank you for getting up early, sir.
No problem. I can see, you guys can see here how much you're missing, not being in the media center at 5 o'clock Pacific.
No, that's why we didn't go.
Can you count how many people are there, Bert?
I probably could. I see 1, 2, 3. All right, in my line of vision right now, I count 6.
Yeah, and that's Friday. So
I know.
Callahan was
exaggeration. Actually, it's 7. I'm sorry, 7.
Yeah, Callahan was there on Tuesday, and when he went on with us an hour. No, he went on with us at 8. And when he was there was nobody. But then at the end of the interview, there was like 12. But right now, yeah, and we're halfway through the show. That's why. Go ahead.
All these people that you would want to interview or talk, like all these people that you guys would be here to sit down with, were probably out till 1 or 2 in the morning last night. So they're not going to be here until like 9 or 10. So
sure.
This is going to be, by the way, a continued problem because the Super Bowl next year is in Los Angeles.
We are aware.
The year after that's Atlanta, and then the year after that is almost certainly going to be Vegas. So now we're talking about 2 of the next 3 after this one being on Pacific time.
Now, Hardy, is Vegas Pacific time all year round?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it is.
Okay. I thought it was one of those places that
it's only
change.
Phoenix then. That's the change. I thought
Phoenix doesn't change, or Arizona doesn't do daylight saving or something. So there's part of the year
they don't change
time.
the clocks.
Yeah, they're mountain time in the winter. Now, you wouldn't want to go to Vegas, even though it's Vegas, right?
Oh, I think it should be considered. Yes.
Are you being serious?
I'm being totally serious.
Okay.
That's a whole you see, but that's a completely different animal. And listening to Beetle talk about it this week, like the guy who said he was going to kill him, he was going to murder him. Not I'm going to kill you. The guy walked up and said, "I'm going to murder you." That happened to Beetle when he was walking, to work one morning at like 6 a.m. Can you imagine what would be said to us if we were walking there at 1:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning?
Right.
Getting there. So it would be much worse. In San Francisco. Now, L.A., I think Radio Row might be busier, and there's a chance someone might be there. But Vegas, you wouldn't have to leave the hotel. You just, you go downstairs. If it's the same place, I think it was at Mandalay Bay, wasn't it, Bert?
Yeah, it was. That's right.
Yeah, so you can, and if you book early enough, you stay at Mandalay Bay, you take the elevator down, go down there. There's a chance you may not have gone to bed yet. That's great. That works. Vegas works.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it.
Vegas works depending on where you're staying.
Yes.
If you're not staying close to where
it doesn't work.
It works.
What I found,
perfectly.
Hardy, I know you used to live there, so I'm not trying to bigfoot you on this, but like when we were there a couple of years ago, the problem with Vegas was if you weren't staying like within a mile, like by the time you got to Thursday and Friday and Saturday, the traffic was so bad. I mean, it legitimately was a parking lot on the Strip.
Oh yeah,
so you could not move around, and so if you were not like right there, then everything became a giant pain in the ass.
Well, listen, Hardy lived there. Obviously, he has connections there, and if he would like to go, he's by all means. You could.
I think it works for all of us.
Nope, it doesn't work for me, and I'm not even under contract. So who even knows if I'll be there by then? Next year, I'm under contract.
That's 3 years away.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, who knows? All right. So we had a caller, and he was like arguing with me. Everyone's picking against the Patriots. Everyone's picking against the Patriots. And from what I've heard, that's not true. This doesn't seem like a Super Bowl where there's this whole unanimous clamoring that Seattle's winning this game. There seems to be an awful lot of talk about McDaniels. There seems to be a lot of talk about Vrabel, a lot of talk about May being the more composed quarterback, and I don't know if that's fair. But based on Darnold's past, that Darnold can be disrupted. Everyone we've had on the show, it seems, has picked the Patriots. Is there a national notion that this is Seattle's game?
Well, I mean, if you want to play up the disrespect card, I guess you could. I would point you to the awards show last night where Drake May finished second for MVP. The Seahawks didn't have a candidate. Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year, and Josh McDaniels won Assistant Coach of the Year. I think they're getting plenty of credit for the job they've done. Now, if we're talking about it strictly from a talent perspective, I think most people feel like the Seahawks are more talented.
Sure.
And that's in part because they were more traditionally built. They were built over a few years and through high draft picks, where the Patriots were microwaved together. And we'll see how history remembers this Patriots team. You know, obviously part of it's going to be how they play on Sunday. But I'd argue, like, if you go back to 2001, and that was seen, and I remember thinking at the time, that's maybe the worst roster ever to win the Super Bowl. And you look back a few years later, and it really was a better team than we thought at the time, right? When you go down the list of players that were there, and that wound up being the foundation for 2 more Super Bowl champions, you know? So it is possible that this Patriots team looks a little different when we get a few years out from it, but there's no question that most people see the Seahawks as the more talented team. And I'd say, like, on the flip side, you know, a lot of people give the Patriots the coach and quarterback edge, which can be the equalizer.
Okay. Do you think that Darnold is like a flawed quarterback, and that out of the 2 quarterbacks, Darnold is the most likely to have the bad game?
I don't know about that. I think what we've seen from Darnold is 2 years of pretty consistent play. And a lot of people who've spent the last 2 years waiting for the other shoe to drop, and then when it did at the end of last year, pointing to that as evidence that he's still who he always was, even though it's like the only piece of evidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's the only thing. And here's my evidence that it may have changed. Go back to the first time that the Rams and Seahawks played, right? So the Seahawks won the last 2. But the first time the Rams and Seahawks played, I believe Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions. And he still brought them back at the end. And I'm bringing up that game because if Sam Darnold is who a lot of people in Boston think he is, then in that game he would have completely fallen apart and never bounced back. Yet he had all of those turnovers in that game and almost led them back to win the game at the very end. So, like, I think this narrative that he's going to crap himself or that you know, he doesn't have the ability to play on a big stage. I mean, based on what?
Right.
I mean, did you see the way he played against a pretty good Rams defense in the NFC title game? And I'm not saying he's perfect, but I think this idea that he is prone to, I mean, maybe he won't play well, but this idea that, like, oh yeah, like on a big stage he's going to fall apart. It didn't happen, you know, in the NFC playoffs. And I'd say the Seahawks played a better team in the championship game and maybe a better team in the divisional round than the Patriots played in any of their 3 playoff games.
And Bert, I think it's still people just trying to wrap their head around the fact that they're talking about a Super Bowl matchup that doesn't involve Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, any of the people that you would expect to get there, and say, all right, well, they've already proven it, you know, on the highest level, or they've seen consistently them do it within regular seasons to know that they're not going to disappoint. For Sam Darnold, I would say, well, based on what? It's not so much based on what. It's, well, you're just basing it on this year and last year if you were paying attention, but most people weren't. You know, they just didn't think of Sam Darnold as one of those guys that they were going to have to worry about in February.
Yeah, and I think because I think there's like an acute sense of it in New England because of the ghosts thing where ESPN really screwed Sam on that one. Like,
I agree.
I mean, the Jets, I remember, were pissed about that, and I actually agreed with them that I mean, something that was said like kind of off the record, and he's like, oh, and if my understanding is the comment was basically like Bill makes you see ghosts out there, and then they go and someone says, I can't remember who it was, but someone said it on the broadcast while he was playing poorly, and it kind of got attached to him, and your memories of him are what happened in the division, and so I don't know, it's just weird to me that you don't think that a guy can grow past that. I think we've seen so many examples of so many bad teams screwing up so many quarterbacks that it's almost illogical to think that a guy couldn't get a lot better if he got plugged into a better environment. And we used to see it a lot more than we do now. And I think you're right, Hardy. Like, we've seen so many of the marquee games and so many of the marquee quarterback matchups. And Mahomes has been here every year, 5 or 6 years going into this one, that you've always had that guy there. And Jalen Hurts got here at a very young age. I think it's jarring for some people to see a guy later in his career do it. But, I mean, look, I think a lot of people had these questions about Joe Flacco going into the Super Bowl in 2012. A lot of people had these questions about Eli Manning going into the Super Bowl in 2007. We've seen guys overcome, early career problems and play really well on the biggest stage.
Bert, can the Patriots win this game if Darnold plays well and the Seattle Seahawks play well?
So it is actually interesting, Wallach. I talked to a couple of Patriots people who watched the tape on Stafford playing against the Stafford playing against the Seahawks defense, and their response to that was, after watching that, I wouldn't blame anybody who voted Stafford for MVP. And I think it's sort of reflective of how well Drake has to play. I don't think Sam has to play as well as Drake has to play, based on what the two teams are. And I think Drake has to play really well for the Patriots to have a chance. I think if you look at the divisional round, the divisional round is proof that there are paths to win if Sam isn't carrying the team. Now, he played well in that game against the Niners. He's coming off the oblique injury. But if you look at it, he only threw for 127 yards. They ran for a zillion yards. They turned the ball over on defense. They scored on special teams. So I think that there's just a wider path for the Seahawks to win this game. And so Sam Darnold has to play well, but I don't think he needs to be the MVP of the game. Whereas I think Drake has to be a lot closer to that for the Patriots to have a chance.
Yeah, and I think that's still what's people are having a tough time wrapping their head around as they're getting ready to watch the Super Bowl. They don't want to think about the game in terms of, well, they only need to play well enough to win. They've seen too many instances recently. Going back to Tom Brady, it's like, well, that guy plays great, or played great in the Super Bowls that they won. Well, not always, but those are the ones that you remember. And, when you mentioned Eli Manning or you mentioned Joe Flacco, yeah, they played well for them, but they played well enough for their teams to win. Yeah. And that's something that I think people just in the anticipation of the Super Bowl, they don't want to resign themselves to the fact that either one of these guys might just have to play well enough to win. For Drake it may be more than that. He needs to play better than he has played in the playoffs, but he doesn't need to have an all-time Super Bowl performance in order for the Patriots to win, because a lot of this has been about the defenses of both teams, and that's not what excites people leading up to the game.
Well, and you're not. I don't think people are as used to seeing it either. That's part of it. I think if you go back and look at the history of this, 20 years ago, if you had a good, not great quarterback, you had to be really, really good around that quarterback to win. The way the rules have changed football, the way the quarterbacks are coming out now, and I think it's the state of the position I think has gotten better over the years too. It's gone from, if you're just good at quarterback, you need to be really, really good around the quarterback, to now it's you almost have to be perfect around the quarterback. That's the way it's been, right? Well, what happened this year? This year, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs weren't as good, and then Mahomes got hurt. Joe Burrow got hurt. Lamar Jackson got hurt. Josh Allen and the Bills, they wound up in the divisional round losing on some weird stuff, and they scored 30 points even though they turned the ball over 5 times. So it's kind of a freak thing. You know how they lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you have 2 teams there in the Super Bowl who didn't have to go through any of those 4 quarterbacks, who I think most people would agree were pretty clearly the best 4 quarterbacks in football going into the playoffs. So I think the equation changed this year. And that's no slight on the Seahawks or Patriots. You got to do what you got to do to get here. It's just the reality of it. Like, how many times do you think over the next 5 years we're going to see 2 teams in the Super Bowl that didn't have to go through either of those guys to get here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you confident? How do you think Mays played in the playoffs?
Or to win the game? To win the game. What?
Sure. How do you think Mays played in the playoffs so far?
So I would say what I would give Drake a lot of credit for is, and it's the same sort of thing I just talked about with Sam and how he played in that game where he threw 4 picks against the Rams. I think it's hard for a young quarterback when he doesn't have his A game to be able to come up with plays to win the game. And I think the best thing I can say about the way Drake's played in the playoffs is when he didn't have his A game, he was still making throws to win. And so, against Houston, it's a throw down the sideline to Booty. It's the short window throw to Diggs for the touchdown. Even though he didn't play great in that game and he got murdered by that Houston defensive line, he found a way to make the throws that he needed to make. And then against Denver, you had the throw on the was it the flea flicker to Hollins, right?
Yes.
Like where
up the sideline to his left.
And
yes.
that was a high leverage throw and a high leverage spot and in the conditions. And then he makes the play, and that was a great call by Josh McDaniels on the naked bootleg to win the game. So even though he wasn't at his very best, he was still able to summon the 3 or 4 or 5 plays he needed to win the game. Now, the difference now, I think, is that he's going to need more than those 3 or 4 or 5 plays, because I just don't think you're shutting down the Seahawks offense the way you did the Broncos offense with Jarrett Stidham, the Texans offense with C.J. Stroud, or the Chargers offense with basically no offensive line.
All right. Bert Breer, he's out at the very busy, you can hear it in the background, Media Center in San Francisco.
Bustling now. I'll do another count for you guys. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Look at that.
People.
20 minutes. It's doubled.
No, I mean, remember at Callahan at the end of this hour, by 6 o'clock, I think the Texas guys and stuff are coming in.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, what you guys are missing is the player walking in with 19 PR people around him.
Right, and a lot of these guests are no bueno.
It's like the third receiver for the Falcons walking in with an entourage.
And just because you played linebacker 20 years ago doesn't really need to be. I don't think you need to be on the show.
And the girl with the clipboard who's bossing everybody around.
Oh, yeah, good.
And it's not like the music ones that are super hot. All right. Anyway, Bert, we will be back in one moment with Bert. More Bert.
Major move for the New England Patriots. After one season, have fired head coach Gerard Mayo.
You gave your handpicked successor 1 year and then got rid of him with no support system. So that's a circus. That's as bad as any Jet. That's as bad as any Lions.
I still can't believe this was the succession plan.
It was an absolute failure.
It is the kind of instability that defines
Trash organizations.
and they need to get out of that cycle if they ever want to be respectable, let alone champions.
Breaking news.
The New England Patriots are hiring Mike Vrabel.
Stephon Diggs, Morgan Moses.
Milton Williams to the Patriots.
That's a big one.
The New England Patriots like Will Campbell.
Davion Henderson.
Jarrett Wilson.
After completing a remarkable regular season turnaround, the Patriots are back in the playoffs.
Excited, but we're not here just to get here. We have to be able to host games and compete for championships.
Drake on a deep drop, slides left, throws into the end zone. Henry makes the catch. He's in near the pylon. Touchdown, Patriots. 2 minutes to go. Herbert drops back. He's pressured, and he's walled by Milton Williams. He don't want to get up. C.J. Stroud, play fake, bootleg to the near side. Receiver fell down, and Stroud throws it up in the air. Intercepted Marcus Jones. Right 20, 15, 10. Jones is tackled by Hutchinson. Takes him to the pylon. Touchdown! Patriots! May stands in, throws the long ball deep down the right side for Keyshawn Burney. Reaches out with the right hand. Pulls it in. Touchdown! Patriots! A diving grab by Mooney. That's what's up. Jordan high steps, stands in, throws the deep ball down the right side. Touchdown! Intercepted for New England. He waited out a corner. Fake by May. He's going to run it to the left. He's being chased. Tries to get outside. He does. He's got the first down. The Patriots will spill off their sideline in the snow in a celebration a mile high. They are headed to Santa Clara to meet the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60.
All right, excellent job. We are Toucher and Hardy. Bert Breer is out in San Francisco at the Media Center, and he is kind enough to join us. Bert, what do you think of the MVP voting? You talked about it a little bit before, but I guess John tells me that fans are going after the reporter that voted for Justin Herbert. Yep. They don't like that.
Yeah. I honestly, I think it was a very, I have a vote. I think it was a very difficult vote. And I think the MVP race lacked a clear-cut winner. Now, I think there were a number of guys who had MVP-worthy seasons. And the three for me would be Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen. I wouldn't have put Justin Herbert in that category. However, in making my calls, and I probably made somewhere 30, 40 phone calls to coaches and scouts to vet my all-pro team and my awards, there were a few that made a really strong case for Herbert. So I had him on my ballot. He wasn't top three. I think he was fifth. I think I had those three, the top three, and then Christian McCaffrey maybe fourth and Herbert fifth. I'd have to look at it, but this was a difficult year to vote, and it's not unlike last year. Last year I thought was a tough one too between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and so I'd tell you I thought there were multiple really deserving candidates, and I don't think it's a crime against humanity if you voted for any of the top three, and the fourth had some people that were making a really strong case for him.
Okay, let's get to some injuries here. Let's start with Imamwari.
Nick Imamwari, yep.
All right.
There you go.
You were close enough as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. He got it. I think he got it.
Well, I needed John's help earlier. So from what I'm hearing, he's integral to the performance of that defense. They play 5 defensive backs more than any other team. He's been a sensation. He could be defensive. I don't even know if did he win Defensive Rookie of the Year? Was that
no?
thing
He's a
last night?
finalist for it.
Okay, they haven't decided that yet. For some reason, I guess they don't do
Carson
that.
Schlesinger was the Rookie of the Year.
Okay, so he did not win it. All right, so they did do it. All right, so but he was a finalist. Okay, so what are you hearing about his ankle? It's weird because there's just like a pool reporter at the practice, and there wasn't like a lot of information. It's not the pool reporter's fault. I mean, a lot of things to look at, and it's a low ankle sprain. He was out earlier this season with a high ankle sprain. He's going to play, but what are you hearing about that?
So, we talked to him yesterday, and he said that he went up for a ball in the middle of practice, came down with it, and just landed funny on his ankle and kind of rolled it. And so didn't feel good. And I think it, from what I understand, it sort of mirrors a tweak that he had in training camp. So is it worth monitoring? Yes. He was incredibly confident that he's going to play. He said he'd manage it accordingly. Now, is he going to lose practice reps over it? Maybe. Could it get aggravated in the game? Perhaps. He's a super important player for them, though. You're right about that, Fred. This is the same defensive scheme or a similar defensive scheme to the Ravens scheme and to the Chargers scheme. And Nick Eamon-Warry was drafted to play the role that Kyle Hamilton plays in Baltimore and the role that Derwin James plays with the Chargers. And basically the easiest way to put that is he's a player who, when you have him out there in the nickel and you have 5 defensive backs out there, normally you would see that sort of front, with 6 men in the defensive front, and you would say we're going to run at that. Eamon-Warry can effectively both be a linebacker and a safety for you, even a nickel corner. So he kind of evens the numbers there, and it makes it harder for offenses to put to generate matchups, because the way you generate matchups is, all right, we're going to force them to go out there with 3 linebackers, and now we're going to throw in that linebacker. Well, if you don't need that third linebacker on the field to stop the run, and you can play with Eamon-Warry as a linebacker, now you can't find that matchup the same way you would be able to against other teams.
Okay, Drake May, these full practice, you're hearing that shoulder is what?
Fine. Yeah, there's wear and tear, and I think back to Derek Carr in the offseason, and I remember when he retired and he had the surgery, I got calls from a few coaches who said that surgery is basically elective. And it was, the point they made was that's wear and tear that almost every quarterback has. And the reason I'm telling that story is because these guys go through normal wear and tear in their throwing shoulders that nobody knows about. And every quarterback deals with it. And so my understanding is he had the normal wear and tear, and then he landed on it. And so, there's some maintenance that has to take place when you do that. And they had the extra week to take care of it. So with the illness, he didn't practice the one day, and that gave him a rest day that maybe he wouldn't have had otherwise. And he was limited last week. But the fact that he's a full participant now tells you that he's going to be okay, because that's not something that you push in practice. If there's any issue with the throwing shoulder where you're worried about fatigue or fraying or anything like that, you aren't going to be pushing him on a Wednesday practice. So it's, a really good sign that he was a full participant the last couple of days.
All right, and Spillane, he's been practicing.
Yeah, and that one is a little bit more of I'd say that would be one I'd be a little worried that could get aggravated in the game. It sounds like he's full speed ahead and is going to play. What that looks like in the game, I think, is worth paying attention to, because from what I understand, that is one where, you get into the second quarter and your foot slips, and now all of a sudden, you're back to square one. So, not saying he won't make it through the game, but it's certainly something that that could be aggravated, and I think it becomes a little bit of a wait and see thing for the Patriots, who've gotten really good play from Jack Gibbons behind him.
All right, and Harold Landry did not practice. Would you guess he's not playing in the game?
I think anything you get from him is a bonus at this point. It's not like he's been a major factor. this to me is like an older player who's probably breaking down a little bit. And, you're now to your 21st game of the season, which is the most games anybody's ever played in the season. That mark of 21, which a few teams have reached now, I think, since they went to 17 games. It's a lot, and so I think, what you'll see from Landry, if you see him at all, is some spots where he's, coming in as a designated pass rusher, but probably not a whole lot else than that if you get that.
And speaking of the pass rush, who has the advantage there? Who do you think, which team will get more pressure on the quarterback?
I mean, I think the Seahawks have a more well-rounded defensive front. I think the advantage for both teams is on the interior, though, and I think that might actually wind up being the key to the game, where the Seahawks issue the last couple of years, I mean, going back to Pete Carroll's last year, has been the interior of the offensive line. And they did shore that up by going and getting Gray Zabel, who's been, a borderline All-Pro as a rookie. But you have Sundell at center, you have Bradford at the other guard spot. So there are matchups you can take advantage of if you're the Patriots with Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. And I think the same thing goes the other way, where they've got the Seahawks do probably 2 of the 10 best defensive tackles in football in Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy. And those guys can wreak havoc and cause problems for you. And it'll be interesting to see how, Onwenu, Bradbury, and the rookie Jared Wilson hold up against those guys.
All right. Bert Breer, he got up very early in the morning. He is in San Francisco. You can hear it.
Heroic act by me.
I do appreciate it. I mean, you got up really early and went over there.
Yeah. And now
it's louder here than there. Our air conditioning's out, so we have the door open. It's louder here than there.
2, 4, 5, 6. We're up to 11 now, I think. Yeah. Up to 11.
You don't go out west. All right, very good. We'll have more with Bert. We'll finish up with him coming right up here. The headlines.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Robert Spillane in, Harold Landry out of Patriots practice yesterday as they continue to get ready for Super Bowl 60 against Seattle this coming Sunday. Seahawks safety Nicky Manwari didn't practice yesterday after suffering a low ankle sprain on Wednesday, but he is expected to play this weekend. And other NFL news, postseason award show took place last night. Mike Vrabel voted the coach of the year, Josh McDaniels the assistant coach of the year. Former Patriots kicking legend Adam Vinatieri voted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Celtics made 3 trades yesterday in advance of the NBA deadline. Chris Boucher sent to Utah, and Josh Minott traded.
in Seattle, there's only one clear winner. Dunkin' beats Starbucks. I don't need Ben Affleck telling me so. I know it, because I run on Dunkin'. If I ran, which I don't, on account of my pacemaker, I'm brittle.
That might be the best one.
Nick could die at any moment. You can actually
one.
hear his pacemaker click.
Nearly dead Nick.
It's not a pacemaker, but it is a gadget in his heart that helps the blood flow so he doesn't die.
He really does have a ticker.
But apparently when he goes to the hospital, they're just like, you go. They're like, he gets right in. Because isn't that true, Nick? When you go to the hospital, like if you know how you have to wait around the emergency room?
Yeah.
What is it, like a Chipotle black card? You know, you show them as a certain badge or something.
He's got the fast pass.
Or you just show them the scar on your chest.
As soon as they look up his medical records, like when you go in and tell them your name and they look up your medical records, they're like, okay, we'll take you.
Wow.
That's not a joke.
That's pretty cool. Does it work at urgent care or just the hospital?
I'm guessing the hospital. It's like diamond status.
Only, yeah.
It's like diamond status at the
I don't
hospital.
want any liability if he keels over in the waiting room.
Diamond status.
It's like my diamond status.
Yes, your diamond status. Does anyone else have diamond status, or is it just Fred?
Delta diamond
status. I had it. It's just.
Well, you had the one above that.
Yeah, no, geez.
You had like the one that no one knows about.
Yeah, I had the one. I had the one where they pick you up like from and drive you from gate to gate. Like that was great. It meant like being on the road 250 nights or whatever it was in that year. But it was an unbelievable.
What do they call that?
It was like I think it was like Diamond 360 or something like that. I can't remember.
Or World 360 or something like
Yeah.
They announce those guys on the plane sometimes.
Oh,
like they'll go like, we want to thank like so and so for being like a World 360 thing, and they're up there and my upgrade. If I fly alone, they'll upgrade to first class, but I don't drink anymore, so I don't really care, unless I was flying like coast to the coast. But they'll put you in the Delta Premium, which is not that much better than the main, so who cares? But whatever. All right, Bert. It's prediction time, as you are the big MMQB national reporter. How is this game going to play out, my friend?
So I had the Seahawks winning 23-20. I have Jackson Smith and Jigba winning the MVP and tying the receptions record. They maybe make a bold prediction, so that was it for me, which would match the mark by Demaryius Thomas for 13 catches by a wideout in a Super Bowl. James White had 14, but I had it as he'll have 13 catches, matching the record for receivers. I just think that this Seahawks team is a little too well-rounded, a little too talented, a little too much. And I think the Patriots will play well. I don't think it'll be quite enough. And I just, being around the Seahawks this week, they have the saying, and whatever, it's hokey, but loose and focused. And I think it's a Seattle team. Like sometimes when you get to this stage, you can see a team that's relaxed and knows how good it is. And that sort of team doesn't come around every year. That's who Seattle is. And sometimes it can be the precursor to a blowout. I think that's on the table. I don't think that happens. I think the Patriots are going to be able to muddy it up. And I think a big piece of this is going to be who runs the ball more efficiently and who stays out of long yardage. And I just think the Seahawks are a little bit better equipped to do that than the Patriots are.
Yeah, the long yardage thing I think is going to be key for both of these quarterbacks because and again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. We've talked about every aspect of this game until, we're about ready to drop dead. But there's still some question as to how they're going to be able to handle this moment, what they're going to behave like, and if one team is in third and long a lot more than the other, that would serve as a great tell for any game, but especially for the matchup of these two guys.
Yeah, and I think both teams throw a lot at a quarterback. Both teams are going to make you make you work for it. Both teams, I think, are going to change the picture on the quarterback post-snap. And what neutralizes that is by staying out of 3rd and long. And so, I think for both teams, again, are you in 2nd and 6? Are you in 3rd and 3? Or are you in 3rd and 11? I think both offenses are going to would have trouble if they're in long yardage more consistently. And the Seahawks are just really, really efficient on offense. And part of it's the run game. Now, losing Zach Charbonnet was a blow for them, but Kenneth Walker is one of the best backs in all of football. And I think I think you have a little bit more consistency in the run game from Seattle and a little bit more of an ability to play really well around the quarterback.
Bert, the thought all week by a lot of people who cover this game is that the Patriots can't win in a shootout. They need to keep the score down to have a chance. Do you subscribe to that theory?
I just have a hard time seeing the Patriots scoring like 27, 30, 35 points against the Seahawks defense. Now, I know the Rams did last week. I just think that, again, I'm going to go back to how well Stafford played in that game, and the people who I've talked to who really broke down the tape who say he was otherworldly on the tape. And it's going to be hard for anybody to approximate that sort of performance from that position. And so, I think the Patriots' path to winning the game is sort of how they've won the playoff games, which is muck it up and get it to the 4th quarter and make a few plays when you get there.
All right. There you have it.
Which is what I mean when I say there's a narrower path. I think the Seahawks have different ways they can win this game.
All right. Well, Bert Breer has been wrong just so far this playoff, so fear not.
Well, the idea that I picked against them every week is wrong, too, because I did beat them to beat the Broncos. I did pick them to beat the Chargers. I picked them to lose against the Texans. So 2-1. That's not horrible.
Listen, in Vegas, that's everything.
You're a rich man.
Yeah, I mean, if you thought they'd cover, you're doing all right. All right, Bert. Thank you. When do you come back?
Monday.
Okay.
It's the happiest day of the year.
Yeah. All right. Well, have fun. Commuting.
I love boarding that plane on Monday.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing with Friday after the show when we were at the Super Bowl. It's like, oh, thank God.
There's nothing like leaving a Super Bowl city on a Friday. Not a lot of company.
No, it's a very
the
freeing.
The planes are empty, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, they are.
We had this discussion last week. More so on a Friday. It's Saturday night. I left Atlanta on a Saturday night, and there were less than 10 people on the plane.
Lucky the plane took off.
I'll tell you what, having nobody sitting next to you on an airplane is like finding a winning lottery ticket.
There's something else.
Oh, I like the conversation. All right, Bert. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. We will be back. Kendra will be joining us.
Toucher and Hardy. 98.
Your next update at 9:30.
Diving effort. And he's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the spot.
The Sports Hub.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Dutcher and Hardy, mornings of the sport.
All the T-shirts and keychains and hats have the little Puerto Rico frog on them. Yeah. I thought of you.
Well, I appreciate that. It makes me think of Daniel, and it makes me sad. So,
Didn't we just go by the anniversary of you meeting Daniel?
I think
No, it
it's
would be
coming
next
up. It
month.
would have. Yeah. Would it? No. It would have
Oh.
been during winter break.
President's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when. You should probably text him and be like, "It's our 1-year anniversary." That might be fun. If you were like, "Hey, Daniel, Rob, 1-year anniversary." Yeah. How about this Bad Bunny? Can you tell me what he's saying? Can we talk on the phone so you can tell me what he's saying? Is it some anti-government? It's a call to arms. He's gonna get them all agitated.
This guy's a threat of our way of life.
Well, he's
Man.
gonna get them all agitated. This
Yeah.
is what he's gonna do, and we won't know. We won't be any the wiser.
That's right.
I won't be watching it anyway. I got Kid Rock to pay attention to.
Yeah, Kid Rock. Very strange metamorphosis of Kid Rock.
I got a freak, so I'm gonna wax some booty.
That is what Kid Rock sounded like when I was in high school. That was what Kid Rock sounded like.
Staying power is what that is.
Well, no, it's a complete metamorphosis into something completely different, almost a 180. Like
He goes from this to a headline in a halftime show featuring this.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's like the moral voice for like the Christian organization or wherever the hell it is. Like he's like his whole thing was he was a pimp.
Yeah.
Now I know it wasn't a literal thing, but I mean he was talking about premarital sex. I'll have you know, yodeling in the valley. I don't want to tell too much, but you know what I'm saying. Kendra Middleton is here. She is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, and it is the Super Bowl if you didn't know. And Kendra is here, and Kendra, who has had lip filler, it's very exciting.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're watching on YouTube,
man, her lips they look fantastic.
She's got a Steven Tyler thing happening. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I came in, I did notice.
Yeah, I got them done yesterday. So
And one of the reasons I bring it up is she's like, you know, I tell girls, I said, don't worry. I go, every girl I know gets this stuff done. It's not a big deal. And she goes, yeah, but even if you didn't say that you liked it or whatever, I didn't say I liked it. Even if you didn't say that you knew girls that did it, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it was like, even Hardy, it was like this unnecessary FU. I was just
It was really a big FU, very dismissive.
It was like I was telling her, no, it's cool. Like I know every girl does this, and she's like, yeah, I don't care. And it was just unnecessary, really. So I mean, but here we are.
that was his revenge, was telling the entire world that I got lip filler yesterday.
That's right. She said I could get a lip flip because I don't have an upper lip. She said that I could get a Botox in my upper lip that would flip it up.
Yeah, he just can't suck anybody off for 2 weeks.
I had to dump that.
You have to dump that.
I don't
He had
think
to
you can
dump
do
that.
it that way.
Yeah, you can't say
I'm
it
sorry.
like that.
I like the line. It's a good line.
You can't say it at all.
You can't say it
And that's
that
the
way.
reason I'm not
I
getting
thought that was the PG way to say it, too. That's the worst part.
No,
it was-
your instincts were not
so
there
much.
on that one.
That's the second time I've ever been dumped in 3 years. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Did I do the other one too?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So
I got your back.
Thank you.
That was good, but we can't.
I mean, she
use
gave
it.
the reason is that I couldn't give oral to any of my gentleman friends.
That's how you say it.
Right.
How is that any better?
I don't make the rules. The Bible does.
Less graphic, I think.
It's not better or worse. It really is. It's ridiculous. And I mean, we can go down this rabbit hole if you want, Fred.
No,
but it was
I think
also
my version was cleaner.
it was also kind of the tone. It was very vulgar in its delivery.
Yeah, she's got a little tood happening.
Yeah.
She's got a rude tood today, Kendra.
Hey, if you're gonna out my filler, I'll out your activities. It's okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's no secret. I love performing oral sex on people, men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Eddie, I do it to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
You got backstage passes to that shred off. I mean, whatever you need. All right. So, Kendra, here we are. It's the Super Bowl.
It's wrong.
It is, Eddie. I know you're very traditional. You believe in the biblical sex. All right. So these.
Wait, I have a question.
Sure.
So this has nothing to do with the Super Bowl, but like, let's say in the Bible, like you get married and you're allowed to they're allowed to
Yeah,
kiss,
let's
right?
talk about this.
If you get a divorce, are you allowed to keep having sex or no? Because you've been married.
Okay, I can tell you this. In the Jewish religion, if you're very religious, you have to get something called a get. It's called a get, and that is you have to get the synagogue or whatever to recognize that your marriage is to get remarried in the Jewish in a Jewish faith. My knowledge, you have to get a get.
In Catholicism, you need to have the marriage annulled.
Okay, so with this get, in my experience, not my divorce, I'm not Jewish, but my experience with this though is it can be used as a leverage bargaining tactic. For instance, say you were divorced and one person got let's just say randomly a piece of art that you enjoyed that's very expensive. Then that person years later meets someone who's very Jewish and wants to get married in a Jewish tradition. You can then demand that piece of art back from them in order to get the get. Be refused that piece of art so the person never gets married, which is what love is all about.
Yeah.
That's just a hypothetical that I have no connection to. It's just quite a weird story.
It's very specific.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can put two and two together. It's
kind of.
It involves the bubs. All right, so Kendra, here we are, and if you want, I have a Bible right here in this box.
Somebody mailed Zoe a Bible recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a video of it on my phone because they wrote him an entire note and sent him a Bible.
Was it like you would need to read this, or was it like, hey?
I didn't read the note because that felt intrusive, but I did take a video of the fact that someone mailed Zolak a Bible.
In Atlanta, I used to get mailed them all the time. I like 4 or 5 times people would mail me Bibles, but it wasn't nice. They were like,
you need Jesus.
Yeah, you need Jesus. Like
I'm probably gonna get a couple Bibles after if I just got dumped. So.
No, I don't think you attacked religion there. You just were very rude and crude, which has kind of been your tood all morning, even before we got on the air. All right, so with the Super Bowl, Kendra, I'm looking at the ringer here. Now, from what I've heard all week, it seemed pretty even. Like, it doesn't seem like people think the Seahawks are coming in and that they're going to dominate this game or anything like that.
I don't know. 66% of the bets are on Seattle.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about now. And now I'm looking at the ringer, and it's very heavy Seattle. Some people having it as a blowout. Apparently, Dan Shaughnessy wrote, and the listeners took that idea that ESPN, whatever, who cares? They have 70 people that picked this game. It's like too much.
So, in my humble opinion, the reason that the public has done quite well in the last 7 Super Bowls is just the name recognition factor of where they're putting their money, right? So you got to think back the last 7 years. I think 3 of those were Brady and a lot of them were Mahomes, right? So people are obviously going to put their money on the names that they know to win or score, whether it's, an anytime touchdown, a parlay, whatever it is. And in this instance, you're looking at a Seattle team who has some home recognition. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba was one of the most popular jerseys around Christmas times for sales. The only person that's really a household name on this Patriots team is going to be Drake May, right? So anyone who's going out, this is the biggest game for people to casually bet on. And they're going to put their money on, the Kenneth Walkers of the world, the Legion of the Boom 2.0, the JSNs, the Sam Darnolds, the Cooper Kupp, who, has played in a Super Bowl before. So I think that Does the public do better in Super Bowls? When you look at the bet slips, yeah, technically they do. But I think it's a lot of like that name recognition thing, and that it's been Brady and Mahomes for quite some time, and we're seeing the same scenario here. People's opinion of where this number is going to close has been pretty all over the place the last couple of days. I still expect it to probably close around 4. I think the Patriots might get a little bit of like a last minute push type of thing. But I am not picking a side in this. I actually went all player props across the board.
Okay, because you were so uncertain of the outcome of this game.
Yeah,
Would you even take Seattle on a money line if you found like good odds?
So right now the Seattle money line is minus 225.
Like, what would that have to get to for you to take Seattle?
To get to the
180?
window.
Yeah, probably. There you go, Artie.
How
Probably
many units
180.
you put it on?
Wow, look at you.
He says window. I
Hey.
say units.
Oh, the glasses are on. He's ready to go to work.
He texted me. He never texts me, and he texted me about the Jarrett Stidham bet.
Did you hear? Have you heard
did?
him?
Yeah,
Have you heard him talking about you in the evenings?
In the evenings.
Yeah, so he has to go and do this like betting stuff that he doesn't want to do at night, like with Joe. And he's on there going, Kendra's the best, and Kendra does this.
I've heard some people like messaging me about him talking about me, and I've listened back to the shows and hadn't heard it, but I didn't know you were on with Joe.
I know what this was. This is one of the biggest hits I've had in a while because I liked the bet so much. It was AFC Championship, Jarrett Stidham rushing yards, and I got it at over 15 at minus 102. And that was a nice payout.
Yeah.
It was, I'm losing, everything left in my account on this one bet, and don't touch anything else. And it, boom.
Look at you go.
Yeah, so I thanked you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So I have a really hot take for this Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
I think that it's going to come down to Will Campbell. I really do, because people are going to, creativity is the name of the game in the Super Bowl, but if Will Campbell can keep Drake May upright and kind of prevent some of the fumble issues he's had, I think the Patriots can stay right in this game. And do I think that he's going to be in the conversation for MVP? No, obviously not, even if he has the game of his life. But if he can keep Drake May upright and keep some of this pressure off him and give him time to get the ball out, I truly think that Will Campbell is going to be the most slept on difference maker in this Super Bowl.
And Volan talked to Scarnecchia, and he was talking about how the even talent on the Seattle defensive line and the way that they can stunt and the way they can do things based on everyone being able to get to the quarterback can be very confusing to a young player.
100%.
And saying that he was saying that Campbell, not only being young but having missed those games and that experience, that could be very difficult for him.
Yeah,
in the Super Bowl.
I have DeMarcus Lawrence over half a sack plus 120 just because I do think that he's going to get home at some point in this game. That just makes sense to me, and I think that is a great price for the over half a sack. So I went there. I have Austin Hooper over half a reception minus 190, which is a little bit of, a steep price to pay for something like that. But I expect both tight ends for the Patriots to be heavily involved in this game just because of the way that Seattle's defense plays. I think that they're probably going to limit the explosive plays, which is what Drake May does really well. We've seen him with that beautiful deep ball all season long, and that's probably what they're going to try to prevent. I have both of the quarterbacks to throw an interception in this game.
So that's the one I brought up the other night to Joe, and that's a prop that I liked also.
Yeah, I parlayed it actually, and you guys know how much I hate the P word. It is my least favorite thing. I think that that's how you lose money gambling, is just by dumping all of your money into parlays. I have them both separately, and I parlayed it. The price has gone a little bit all over the place, so I think currently Sam Darnold's minus 128, and maybe Drake May is like minus 130 something. But if you parlay it, that price is around plus 190 for both of them too. And both of these defenses are lights out. I expect them to, struggle. We know who both of these quarterbacks are capable of being. Obviously, Drake May's ceiling is a lot higher when he's playing his best football. Another thing that I am looking at is the MVP market. That's everyone's favorite thing to bet in the Super Bowl. I just heard Bert Breer telling you guys that he loves Jackson Smith and Jigba. Obviously, the quarterbacks are the easy thing to look at here. But I think this is the most worthy long shot market you're going to get in a Super Bowl, just because the defenses are going to have to make a difference here. And if both of these quarterbacks kind of struggle, both of them throw a pick, you're going to be looking other places. So if you get a huge defensive showing here, I think that the defensive market is the best that it's been in a Super Bowl in a long time. I know that it's insane. I put a sprinkle on my show on Saturday for Milton Williams because he was like plus 20,000.
What about Marcus Jones? Like, what if he had like a punt return? And
I was talking with someone about this. Marcus Jones, anytime touchdown, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about him, but I think the hottest kind of take I've seen, a lot of people are talking about Kairos Tonga for an anytime touchdown.
Oh, I had that one last night.
Yeah, that's been a spicy one people are talking about.
That's spicy.
I really like kind of the weirder markets in this Super Bowl just because both of these teams are going to have...
Who cares? Let's just do it.
Well,
let's just get weird, right?
It's like plus 15,000.
Yeah, exactly. So like, why not? Even if you put like $10 on it, I think somebody called in last week and put like $5 on Milton Williams. They were like, hell yeah, like it's the Patriots' best player outside of Drake May. Why wouldn't I do that?
Right. All right. Let's go to Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
That was amazing, and it's a great ad for listening on the app later today.
Kendra's
I think you should have
filthy
a segment, the dump of the day.
Right.
But I know it's hacky if you do it on purpose, but that was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Kendra.
Kendra, very foul mouth.
Yes, that is something people have said about me my entire life.
Very foul mouth. Before we go to the email segment, is there any other bet that you have that you want to get out there?
I put a little bit of a sprinkle on a Cooper Cup anytime just because I do expect that Gonzalez matchup on JSN to be a little bit of fit for both of them. I could see him having receiving yards. Not sure about the end zone situation.
I don't know who's rubbing off on who, but that was the last one I threw in last night when I was on with Joe, the Cooper Cup anytime touchdown.
I talked about that on this show last week, I think, and on my show last week. So you and I are two halves of a whole idiot. And then I also, kind of my craziest little bit of sprinkle something, I have Jake Bobo over half a receiving yard. I think for him for a reception it was plus 130. For him over half a receiving yard is plus 180. I understand the pricing difference there just because if he obviously gets pushed back behind the line of scrimmage or something like that, but the price was good enough for me to take that little bit of an extra gamble. He's from Massachusetts. He's been doing a ton of media all week talking about playing in a Super Bowl against the team you grew up rooting for, that type of thing. So I could
be like a fridge thing. They just like give him, like if it's a blowout, they just give him the ball.
I could see them trying to get a catch to the kid who's playing against his, hometown team. He has a ton of people in the stands that are flying out for the game. So
let's say this: if you're a Patriots fan and Seattle's up by so much that they just start feeding the ball to a kid because he's from here in the Super Bowl, oof. Then you got to rethink the whole Warriors thing. You really got to rethink the whole Warriors thing. What did you think of that?
I mean, I think it's kind of funny. Have you guys seen all the road signs driving around?
Marshall Hook, our own Marshall Hook, is responsible for those.
They're kind of cute. I like them. I've seen. I saw one that said "Drive like if you want to watch the game, drive like a Patriot." I've seen the "We All We Got," and I've seen. I saw one other one yesterday that the Warriors get to their destination safe or something like that. It's been cute.
But you've never seen the movie.
No.
So you don't understand the nonsensical.
I watched them talk about it and explain like the breakdown of how it started, so I understand how they got to it. But
don't worry about watching the movie. It's
It's
an awful.
Is it a bad movie?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
terrible.
It doesn't really hold up. But the whole point is like the Warriors are the good guys, and they are the taunt and the chant that they keep saying is by the bad guy in the movie who presumably dies at the end of the film.
Do you know the Scarface phenomenon?
Yeah.
Is that people take these movies and they just ignore the end. Like, every like basketball player or like rapper had a Scarface poster. I remember Carmelo Anthony.
It's the Joker with my generation.
Right, like Carmelo Anthony. But at least that's like, anti-establishment. There's like more to it. But like the Scarface thing, like Carmelo Anthony had one in his boardroom when he like did Cribs. And it's like, his sister accuses him of wanting to bang her, and then he dies. He gets shot. His umpire falls. Watch the end of it. I don't know if this is someone you want to emulate as a businessman. All right, Kendra will be back with us, and we will do our award-winning email segment with her.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
If you're looking to engage.
The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right. Jeffrey Glassman, if Kendra gets sued for her language, they could represent her, our friend Jeffrey Glassman. If you ever get sued by one of these maniacs mailing you things. The email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman's Injury Lawyers. I have packages here that have been sent to me that I have yet to open. So
That's
that
so
would drive
rude of
me
you.
nuts.
Also, thank you to Ryan, who sent me a very nice package this morning. That was very sweet of you.
And yeah, okay, that's what you want to do. That's the way you want to handle things. It's just encourage. But the thing is that it's bothering Nick a lot. Nick, if you would like to open up these packages, be my guest.
I can't believe you don't want Nick to open them for you. Don't you want to see what's
Nick, if you want to come in and open these packages, feel free.
12, give him your knife.
Oh, he
John,
already
already
did.
on it.
He already did. He
Oh,
loves
did
that,
he really?
He loves that dumb knife.
I helped Kendra with her package earlier.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, my mistake.
How would she have ever figured out how to get a box open
Nicholas!
without you?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, let me just tell you this. The email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman's Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, like Adam stabs you with his big knife, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens. It's 617-777. 7777. I have a gun if you want to open it with that.
12's is bigger.
Or I could be
Thank you, John.
or visit gottagetglassman.com. While you open
Just
it.
open the box.
Yeah, I know.
Please, Nick.
Jesus. Why don't you talk more off mic?
I've seriously had enough of you this week.
All right. While he is opening
on.
his, I can turn your mic on, Nick. As he's opening this,
I have an email.
are you doing the Gary Tanguay one? Because
have him read the Tanguay one.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well.
We're really getting the ASMR.
Oh no,
of the package.
mine was not the Gary.
Okay, just
Tanguay.
go ahead and read it because I'm just seeing what's going on.
Well, now we all are.
I feel like we need the Nick music.
Is there nothing in there?
There's something in here.
But is that a garbage bag?
I think so.
Oh God.
Oh wow!
What is that?
Oh no way! Did Barnes send that to me?
Wow. That is a deep cut.
All right, so explain what that is,
Yes.
Fred.
Signed by.
What does it say?
Here, pass it along.
Oh, it's a fake signature. All right, so it is a.
There's stuff on the back, too. You're going to have to hold the back up as well.
So it is. Oh, yeah. Look at his back. That's why I called him Captain Back Acne. If you can get this on YouTube, his back is all like gross. So this guy that I used to work with self-produced a movie with Corey Feldman, Michael Damian, Jeff Fahey, who's like a famous actor.
Lawnmower Man. Yeah.
By the way, Steve Barnes, lead actor. And it was called No Witness. And he sued me because I made fun of him so much about it. And we did a screening of it. And he had a lawyer transcribe everything I said. So the lawsuit, it's an hour-and-a-half movie. So the lawsuit was like 100 pages. And this idiot sues me. And every insult I had was open to the public because it was a lawsuit. So every local paper ran that Barnes was suing me and ran all the insults I said about him in the paper.
Perfect.
Not great for his career. Real dumb. But you want to get sued again, Jabroni, Steve Barnes. He's not
And they also
clever.
sent you a DVD copy.
Yeah.
How are you going to watch a DVD?
No witness.
I don't know. But that's,
It will have no witness.
I'm actually glad I opened that. Thank you. That's very funny. Barnes is not clever enough, nor has the self-deprecation tactics to do something like
Now
that.
the box. Now we got the
Scared
box.
he's going to punch himself
Good
in the
German
face
knife.
trying to open
Be careful,
this.
it's sharp.
It's a huge, heavy box that has been sitting here for a week that Fred has not been the least bit curious about.
Yeah,
You'll
I
just
walked
cut
in
away
and
from yourself.
I'm
Nick
worried-
was like,
Cut
you
away.
have a package.
No,
Can
he's
you open
cutting
it?
right at his face.
Yes, it's making me really nervous.
Wouldn't it be funny if he cut himself with your knife?
Oh, well, he's also opening with the bottle opener. He's not even using the knife.
All right, just open it. Let's go. All right, come on. Stop beating around the bush.
Hats.
Oh, no, those are from Pete Frates. Okay, those are good.
Oh, that's
all right.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff from Pete. I'm doing a Pete Frates event, hockey event.
Oh,
and the
nice.
Bruins will be involved, so I'll be doing that.
Okay.
I'm sure Kendra will be there.
I was invited this morning.
There you go. So Kendra will be there as well. Perhaps Kendra will skate for my team. I'll be coaching as I cannot skate. So I will be coaching. Are you going to skate? That's a Bible.
I can skate, but I can't stop.
That's
okay,
a problem.
You're playing. I want you to play for my team.
You're a
playing for
board
my
you
team.
can crash into if you want.
I'm just going to keep sending you out there and never let you come off the ice.
I've never held a hockey stick in my life outside of the studio.
You're fine.
I could skate at one point. I can no longer skate. You ever have that happen to you? Like, I wasn't a good skater, but I could, like, get around. I played a little bit of roller hockey in Atlanta, but no, there's no doing it now. I'm not even sure I can ice skate. I don't even know if I ever have.
I haven't been on skates in few years, so I don't know.
No, I was an indoor child. All right, let's go. I will read you an email pertaining to Kendra's foul mouth.
Yay!
This is from Gary Tangway. Oh, no. It says, Kendra, teach my class. It's not Gary Tangway, but I was going to make predictions for the football game, but I'd much rather take this time to personally welcome Kendra to the Dump It Club. If you remember the famous clip of Gary going dump. He swore a lot. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I have a class this semester on straddling the line of decency entertainment and love for you to be a guest speaker. Please let Mrs. Lloyd know your availability.
Mrs. Lloyd.
Gare Bear out.
Dump it, dump it, dump it, dump.
Maybe Will can call you because of, my connections with the whole Tim Robinson thing on the hush hush. All right, who else? How do people email you, Kendra?
They just send me messages, and I have gotten a bunch of messages just saying, you got dumped, you've been dumped. Oh, my God, have you ever been dumped before?
Oh, boy. All right, what do you got going?
Kid Rock just announced he's going on tour this summer, Fred. He's coming to the Xfinity Center.
Let me guess. Does the tour have a name?
Yes, it does.
Does the name have... Oh, it's going to have one or the other. America or Freedom in it?
Correct.
What's it called?
The Freedom 250 Tour.
Yeah.
250?
You know why 250?
Oh, 250th anniversary of the U.S.
There you go.
And that he is the one to celebrate that. It is his celebration. You can watch Kid Rock online if Bad Bunny and his call to arms and that gobbledygook he speaks is offensive to you. Because the Super Bowl owes you entertainment that you enjoy. Because you're paying for it. I've liked one Super Bowl performance my entire life, and they showed that Prince one again.
Yeah.
Hachi Machi.
It gets better every time you watch it.
It's like moving.
Yes.
Like when he does Purple Rain, it's like he's so confident.
And you forget it. He did it. Like the skies opened up. It started pouring on him.
It's like a very seminal moment in music.
And plus, he's up there doing like other people's songs, which you normally don't see at the Super Bowl. But he's up there doing Foo Fighters and Hendrix, and it doesn't matter. It all works, and they all sound like his songs.
There's no backing track whatsoever. His guitar and mic are 1,000 times louder than the band.
Yes.
In the confidence, he's screwing around. He's like doing screwing around in the best possible way. He's like improvising. He's like talking to the crowd. It's one of the best performances. Forget the Super Bowl. It's the only performance I've ever enjoyed at the Super Bowl. But that's the thing. When there's a big event for like 100 million, 200, 500 million people around the world, you're not going to like stuff in it. Right? Like that's all crap. The stuff that everyone likes is generally garbage. And I'm not saying Bad Bunny is garbage. I don't like Bad Bunny, but I'm not under the impression that the Super Bowl is going to do something that I enjoy. It's nonsense.
Prince, it was like the whole week was almost a work. They were replaying the press conference that he gave. As Bad Bunny had his press conference earlier this week.
Couldn't even get in the door. Did you see the line?
Yeah. I love that Bad Bunny's pissing people off, just like I love that Kendrick Lamar was pissing people off. Now that's
I thought you were about to say Kendra. I was like, sweet.
No, but Prince's
you are the Bad Bunny of radio.
Prince's press conference, he went up
there. He's
there.
probably saying a bunch of stuff about oral sex too.
It's crazy that people don't even know that his most recent album is wishing that you took more pictures of your family members. They're just mad that he speaks Spanish.
I don't like that because his family members are probably doing bad stuff.
But Prince's press conference for the Super Bowl, he went up there and they said he's going to be taking some questions. And they obviously had like one plan to ask him a question. And he just kind of like shook his head and turned around and instead started playing Johnny Be Good, which is like, what the hell are they doing?
Out of nowhere.
But it was
Yeah.
fantastic. You're like, oh, this is going to be unlike any other Super Bowl halftime performance.
I think it was The Ringer. They did the oral history of the Prince Super Bowl halftime show. It's an insanely good read. It takes what's already an amazing event and gives it even more context.
I have a question. Favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
That's
You
it.
guys?
Well, Prince.
All
Prince.
of you?
It's
That's
the
it.
only one I ever
Prince in a
liked.
landslide.
Okay.
U2 is good. Halftime of the Patriots' first Super Bowl win.
No, I'm not saying they've all been bad. Like, U2 were fine.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it was like, I know that was the 9/11.
That was 9/11. It
U2,
was,
U2 was very moving also and very good. But in terms of just like a show, it's Prince. That was the show.
I think Bruno Mars did a good.
yes, and actually, that gained him worldwide recognition
So I
when
will
he
tell
did
you,
that first one.
And I'm taking Zoe to see Bruno Mars in May.
Yeah.
Which I'm not dreading. I think that he is like a Prince light, very light.
No, he puts on a show from what I'm told, a really good show.
But, you know, like Maroon 5 were funny because it was so bad.
What was that tattoo? A vibraphone?
No,
he had on his chest.
It was an Epiphone.
Epiphone, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was just a
That's
huge
a vibraphone. Epiphone.
No, it's like the worst guitar made.
Okay.
He's just sucks. And then he took his shirt off like he's hot. Like he took his shirt off, like, look at my body, and you're like, dude, everyone looks like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, you shaved your chest. Congratulations. Like, you know?
I was expecting you to say when we got a nip slip, to be honest.
Oh,
Justin Timberlake and Janet
that was
Jackson.
really bad.
But that
That was
ruined-
another Patriots Super Bowl.
That ruined radio for a good long while.
And rightly so, because if you slowed the tape down to by the second, if you caught it at the right fraction of a second, you could see a covered nipple, a partially covered nipple.
Well, the areola was covered, but the nipple was fully visible.
I thought the weekend was pretty good.
No, I thought that was terrible.
You did? Okay. I like the weekend, though.
Too many
mirrors.
Too many mirrors.
He knew that he wasn't strong enough a performer to like pull off like just a performance, so he did the like tricks. I'm very impressed when a band plays live. Like that is important to me. I like that these guys are pissing people off, don't get me wrong. I find that to be great. The idea that there's people brooding about a guy singing in Spanish is hysterical. And it is funny. Like, it's legitimately funny that you are somehow, this is subversive to the world that this guy's singing in Spanish, or that it should bother you to the point of, like, you know, and that it's somehow like America's fault. like, everything is wrong with you. Like, it's like Pepsi presents this. Like Pepsi owes you something. Ugh.
Not just America's fault,
Are
just
you
certain
guys-
people in America's fault.
Are you watching anywhere fun? Doing anything?
No.
Any plans? No, Hardy?
They had floated an idea about me doing a watch party, but they couldn't get a promotional team out there. Surprise, surprise. So there you go.
Well, I'll be at Hooters in Saugus shaking this thing for Bad Bunny, so...
All right, you're going to be the Hooters in Saugus.
For the whole game?
Yes.
Wow.
Me and my friends, we have a table for 12. We're
Oh.
going to be...
Is it a paid appearance?
No.
Oh.
What if people? No, if you're a fan of Kendrick,
Remember
you'll
when we
sign
went-
whatever you want.
Remember when we went to that silent auction situation?
Yes.
For a charity? The Hooters thing we won. We're doing it for the Super Bowl, so me and all my friends are going.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And that went to the Pete Frates Foundation.
Yes, it did. It sure did.
Absolutely.
Full
so
circle.
Kendrick for a good cause.
Fred, you're forgetting an obvious Super Bowl halftime show, which I'm sure you enjoyed. 1997, the Blues Brothers, Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, and Jim Belushi. You're a Blues Brothers aficionado. You used to dress like him when you went to school.
And when I was in college, I was locked in on the Super Bowl too. No, that was college. That's not. There was no. I didn't consume much. I don't know what I did. Well, that was the Super Bowl with the Patriots. 97, right? Yes.
Yes, that was Green Bay.
I was
Yes.
at Baldwin's house. I was at John Baldwin, who lives in Rhode Island. He still lives in Rhode Island. I was at John Baldwin's house in college watching that. No, I don't remember the Blues Brothers, but I'm sure it was really good. I'm kind of sad I missed it. All right, Kendra, besides Hooters, how can people get in touch with you?
You can come say hey to me at Hooters or follow me anywhere at Kendra Middleton.
Absolutely. Thank
Good
you,
luck on all your
Kendra.
bets, guys. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Have a fun Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, don't drink and drive, everyone. Finally, someone said it. Thank you, Kendra.
Had to.
And if you're going to get lip injections for 2 weeks, you can't.
Do the thing.
Right.
What's
So Kendra's of no use.
Wow.
to her boyfriend. I'm joking.
If we had an HR department.
No, how dare you?
Oh.
Okay,
All right.
love you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Say
Bye-bye.
two or even.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are missing only Harold Landry at practice yesterday as they continue to get ready for their meeting with Seattle in Super Bowl 60 on Sunday night. Drake May a full participant again. As for the Seahawks, safety Nicky Manwari didn't practice after suffering a low ankle sprain on Wednesday, but he's expected to play against the Patriots. The postseason awards show took place last night in the NFL. Mike Vrabel voted Coach of the Year. Josh McDaniels, the Assistant Coach of the Year. Former Patriots kicking legend Adam Vinatieri has been elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Celtics made 3 small trades yesterday in advance of the deadline. Chris Boucher sent to Utah, Josh Minot to Brooklyn, and Xavier Tillman to Charlotte. As Celtics snuck under the luxury tax line, Amari Williams had his 2-way contract converted to a 2-year deal. Celtics will host Miami tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympics begin at 2 p.m. Eastern Time in Milan, Italy. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by South Shore Bank. At Beatles Bank, sharing your success and growing your business is what above and beyond banking is all about. Visit SouthShoreBank.com, member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10.
show is over for the week. But the pregame party just got started. Heck yeah! I got my I Love Drake May t-shirt ironed and ready to go. I love that guy. I want to have 900 of his babies. I could totally start a life with that dude. I'm not kidding. Unless he sucks again. In that case, I'm totally straight, and you can forget all that stuff I just said.
The amount of local news reporters with the I Love Drake May shirts on, well worth ridicule. The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, Colonial VW. Located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro, come see the amazing finance and lease officers. There we go again. And we made fun of Nick. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial. Fun show today. I had fun yesterday with the toilet stuff, so good stuff all around.
Yeah, good stuff going on this weekend, too. If you're looking for Super Bowl festivities, there's the Park 9 Puppy Bowl taking place in Everett. Free admission. Good news for you, Adam 12.
And Bird, too.
Oh, that's right. There's the Pickleball Meets the Super Bowl, a high-energy watch party. That's taking place at Pickle Boss. Boston's premier indoor pickleball club.
I might start playing pickleball. Like, I'm dead serious.
Oh,
like,
I would love that.
Like, my country club, this is the fear that I have to get over, though. This is real life. Just so because it's not going to be funny, so I'm just telling you that I'm not trying. Like, just don't expect much. But like, I have a very a big problem like doing something I haven't really done before with strangers. In that, like, playing a game, like I get really nervous playing golf with people I don't know. I get nervous like playing tennis with people I don't know, which I've done before. I used to belong to that Mount Auburn club, that tennis club.
Yep.
And everyone that could play when I played was like a senior, and it was like hitting against a brick wall, and so it was like annoying. So I have to like get myself to the point. Like I see when you make videos, like funny videos of you playing pickleball, but you're on a cruise.
Funny?
You send them to us in a fun way.
Huh.
Well, I thought when you showed the guys doing construction at a pickleball court, and you said, I'm in heaven.
I thought about putting that on Instagram, but it required way too much explanation.
Yeah, I almost said put that on Instagram, and then I went, what do you care?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do it? So, yeah, I am afraid to, like, I have to get over the fear of, like, not being good in front of strangers at, like, that stuff.
Yeah. And the most exciting Super Bowl watch party that isn't, I saw there was a RuPaul watch party happening.
Huh. Ooh.
But this is, join us for a weekly drag race watch parties. Grab a drink and watch all the action go down for season 18. Apparently, there is a watch party every week at Drawdown Brewing Company. It has nothing to do with the Super Bowl.
You know who is, well, RuPaul can't do the drag show at halftime. She's part of the Kid Rock thing.
Oh, interesting selection.
Yeah. RuPaul will be on in between two of the countries. She's actually bringing Kid Rock onto the stage. RuPaul. It's going to be a real sassy thing, I've heard. Very campy.
Well, very. That's all countering this.
America, be careful, because you don't know what this guy's talking about. Just, be careful, because we're that halftime. I don't know what he's doing. He's up to something. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening this week. Everyone enjoy the Super Bowl. You obviously can hear that right here. Zolek and Bertrand are up next from San Francisco. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Have a weekend. Toucher and Hardy.